Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, one and all, to the second game of the upper bracket. Yesterday, we've had a banger of the series, but today, man, we hope for a banger. I'm AC, beautiful man behind, right next to me is Rev, and we're here to bring you all the action in and out of the Summoner's Rift on this best of 5 series between Pain and the Red Canids. Rev, how are we doing?
I'm doing quite good. I am very ready for a banger, and honestly, I was not expecting that Red would be the favorites in the series. When we started this split, Red with a 3-0-6-2 map record, they've been going all in, and honestly, I don't know. Like, I am not, but if you're a betting man, stop doing it on the LTA South. This split is so bonkers. What went down yesterday? Like VKS 3-0 at Furia?
Predictable outcome. Furia have been in a downwards descent, you know, in hindsight. We should have all seen it coming. It's no surprise to no one. We should have... I'm kidding, obviously. Furia, yeah, no, definitely. A 3-0 is nothing to scoff at. Evil Key made it look easy. Now, on today's series, I mean, so far Red Canids are undefeated for split 3. They've lost 2 games, I think, but they haven't lost a series yet. And they have matched against Pain recently as well, which didn't bode well for Pain, did it?
It did not, and I'm not sure if you follow, the little bit of trash talking, but hypothetically, they selected to replay Pain because, and I quote, "It was easier than it should have been, so let's run it back." So I don't know what would I do if I was Pain, with all the amount of disrespect, because Pain is still quite a scary squad. If you look at the names of the, just look at the nameplates: Wiser, Carioca, Chitan, like Kure. That bot lane duo used to dominate in CBLOL, and now to get smack talk like that, but by that. I know, by the youngsters, it should sting a lot.
I mean, it should, and it is stinging a lot. You know, getting that smack mouth right before the game starts. You know, psychological damage is there. The pressure is on, and Pain Gaming. I mean, they have a lot to prove here coming into the stage of the form, or of split 3 in this case, because they haven't looked their best from the beginning of the split. They've looked fragile. They've looked like a fragile team for the most part. They've made it to they've scratched their way into the upper bracket, but just barely.
I mean, yeah, barely, but we have to bear in mind that it was only 3 series, right? And honestly,
It was
not a huge fan of this format. I think that this format can be really fun if you, I don't know, keep it through 2 splits and have the teams keep selecting their opponents. And if it's a long split, it should be very fun. But now, 3 series and it's over. And now, what happens? What's the actual strength of schedule? Was Viva Kid Stars just the GOATs and they had an unlucky day? And now, or I don't know, maybe you drop a series by trying new things, not playing your best champions, so just you can select opponents afterwards. I don't know what actually happens over there. I don't know who's the best, and maybe the Canids could beat anyone. And I want to bring the argument of the best of one, but it's not even best of ones. So how was it just a good day?
Times 5.
Yeah, but it was best of 1 times
3. Thank you, production. I heard a laugh.
It wasn't a laugh. Pretty sure it was a scoff. I know because I've been.
No matter. It still works.
But yeah, thing is, I'm not sure if it was just a very bad day for Furia. I'm not sure if Red have found the secret recipe and are just printing out money on the Rift. All I know is that there is a precedent. There is a jab at Pain's ego, and sometimes. That usually has 2 results. It's not going to be like some mediocre answer in a region like the LTA South, because the people here are very hot-blooded. You know, you're Mediterranean, so am I, and we know all of that temperamental. So it's either you're going to smack with your face down, or you're going to slap the enemy, and suddenly all that trash talk is going to backfire.
Oh my goodness, let's see if that trash talk's going to backfire in any time soon, because we are ready to head into draft, or at least soon to be heading into draft. This is a best of 5 series. There are going to be a lot of champions going to be ruled out. So far, Red Cannons are undefeated against Spain, but like you said, it was a match that Pain decided to choose to face off against Red Cannons, and here we go. Into the draft we go with Pain start off on the blue side, Red Cannons Kalunga on the red side. We do see a few different bands coming out here with Maokai. When this is 25.15, if I'm not mistaken. Red side did receive a nice little buff, but it's still an overall balanced patch, I would say.
I mean, balance with the Silas in the jungle. Thankfully, I think the back was resolved.
No. We don't do that. We don't do that. No. You're get out of here with that crit Silas. No, that's not gonna happen.
No, listen, the back was resolved, but I did take a yonder over the silicon numbers after it was hotfixed. And you know what? People still play him AD. Maybe not necessarily full crit, but people play him AD. What's the name? The Thunder Sky first item.
Sure.
The full Javan build, some clavers over there. And you know what? It works. It doesn't look any weaker than the AP Silas. So if it's such a flexible approach in the jungle, because it has ganking potential, it can power farm right now. It has scaling if you want to go full AP. It can be like a sort of pseudo front line because it has a sustain and some sort of crowd control. I can see it being a powerhouse in the jungle, such as a Jarvan. I don't know.
Well, according to Nightbot, we are in 25-16, which means Morgana and Brand did get buffed for the jungle. And I feel like that's going to bring a little bit of confusion here in the draft as well, giving it a little bit more dynamics as well. But let's see what happens here, as we already have a ball delivery system on Red's side. You have the Nocturne, you have the Orion. It's available, so they just lock it in. On the Pain side, they find Varus open, and they're going to pick it up, same as Azir here.
I mean, the Varus into the Nocoriana combo, I think it's a classic one right now. You see the mobile ADC and you're like, okay, you're not allowed to play the game, even with your super long range. If you opt into the lethality build, you will get punished time and time again. What I do hate is how you insta-lock Azir for Roamer. And yeah, that might be one of the strongest champions that can actually match the Oriana in the laning phase. But once again, it's a semi-mobile mage. You can get your mobility spell blocked. Both of them, both the disengage from the Aberrant's Divide can get spell shielded, and you get the body blocked on your Shurima Shuffle. So is it actually a good pick? On the other hand, I do like the Trundle. You can delay on Noxus level 6, and you can be a huge thorn on the red side.
Then again, you also have the Mbessa locked in. I was going to say Mbessa could be flexing in the jungle just as loud do it, but they're not going to do that. It's going to be a blind top lane. They just want to secure this one champion towards the top.
Unless
very, very powerful. No! Don't unless me. Where you think Nocturne is going? Top
lane.
What is this? This isn't solo queue.
Get out of here. It used to be played top lane. Warwick is played top lane. Come on, dude.
Oh, is it played top lane with barrier? Because that's cheesy. This doesn't work in real life.
It does. Like, it's been played in MSI. Don't look when Broken Blade played it, but it was played in MSI. Okay.
It was
by other teams from other continents as well. So, it can be a strong pick. But now we're looking at the second part of the bans. I'm looking at a lot of top lane bans, so that Ambassador should be in the top lane. All of those picks that are actually very annoying for her in the early game are gone. The answers are less and less, and one of them should be the Rumble, but Rumble usually shines with some sort of hard Trant control, and that's what's missing from Pain side.
Pain really don't have. I mean, they have the Chains of Corruption for the time being, and this Alistar is going to give them a little bit more dynamic in that CC department, but they definitely need a strong top laner to hold on to the early game, especially because you don't want to delay the rest of the game. You already have an Azir, you already have a Varus. So your early game might be a little bit compromised here. Alistar is going to help you. Alistar and Trundle, for that matter, are going to help you secure that early game leveling. Rumble top up against the Ambessa is the lane that Pain are about to choose, hovering that Rumble very, very intently.
I mean, it does give you some sort of bridge in the mid game because you do have some early game powerhouse, Varus. The Alistar is kind of good as long as he hits level 3, especially now the Electrocute build has been romping up once again in solo queue. Then you do have the late game scaling in the Azir, that insurance. And so you need a bridge, something to play towards in the mid game. It was. And it's very good into the Alistar, so I do love it.
Yep, that's an insta-locking bard, meaning that Ezreal being played by Rebello, which in of itself, Ezreal is already a self-sustaining AD carry, so Bard has a lot of space to be wandering around the map on his side quests.
Yeah, and also it really opens up a lot of gameplay potential. So right now, red canids are from the red side, right? So that means that they have perma prio towards the Drake. If bot lane doesn't go awry, you can play for every single Drake. You can abandon the grabs. You can abandon the Herald. And suddenly the Herald play becomes way less oppressive if your support can actually track the enemy jungle. Because if she can do that, you see Shelly being popped, you see her charging, you insta ult your turret, the play is gone. You have one extra objective on the map, and that puts a screw in Payne's plans, who will need to adapt into that unless they know that they are better, they can out rotate or whatever. They will need to adapt and maybe start playing towards the bot side, start and try to enable the Varus, who's quite strong early game, but not with an Alistar in the first three waves.
No, not at all. I mean, and especially with that low wave clear from Ezreal. You know, Ezreal's a single target champion for the most part. He does have a lot of single target abilities, but his wave clear leaves a lot to be desired against the Varus. So even
Yeah.
though he's a self-sustaining champion with a lot of mobility, he will be suffering if he's left alone for longer periods of time. So, like you said, bot lane prio will be important here. But I'm more curious about the jungle because when you see Trundle locked in, it's usually against the Pantheon. It's usually against Xin Zhao, which we don't see this game. Nocturne is a champion that just wants to stay hidden until level 6 and not want to get into too big fights.
I mean, thing is that both of those champions are kind of the 1v1 kings, right? The bad thing for the Nocturne is that there's not really something to get spell shielded. I think you get the spell shield effect if you do it on the Chomp, but the Chomp still goes through, like it's an enhanced auto attack. You can't really reduce the damage from that. So you only get half the value, and you don't play lethal tempo. So he won't be looking into those 1v1s for Karaoke.
Okay.
Karaoke has a pressy attack, and that means that he will be winning those semi-extended fights with the auto attack resets that the Trample can provide.
See what happens then. I don't think we're gonna have a 1v1. At least if it's down to Doom's decision, I doubt they will try to go for these 1v1s. They want to close out the turn out the lights and get the ball on top of Nocturne so they can get a big team fight going. Rumor's on the wrong side of the fight though. The Supervisor as well dropping down to start collapsing on Doom and Kaze. But Romer's already forced to go back. He does have teleport, but he won't be needing it, or he won't go back at all. He just used the
Yeah, no.
pot here.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage for Kaza right now because he knows that Nocturne will be out clearing the Azir. The Azir will get chunked out. Ariana early levels, one of the strongest champion Azir. Yes, he has the soldiers, but in the first levels, until he has like 2-3 points in his W, he will
Yeah.
not be able to clear the waves as easily. And Ariana, with all of those enhanced auto attack with the bow as well, should be winning those trades. Romer can only have one potion to sustain through the lane and might need to use the reset way earlier than he'd like to, and that can suddenly start a bleeding out in the laning phase.
Let's see if that happens. Romer's already at 50% HP. As you said, Oriana really, really dangerous, especially while in auto attack range, and Romer's way too concerned to clearing out these waves. Really be able to dodge out the damage that's being outputted by Kaze with Common, and knowing exactly where Karaoke might be as well helps a lot for Kaze to reposition himself and keep pressure up and high on this mid lane.
Yeah. Yeah, especially right now, I'm looking at the junglers. Doom has gone for the greedy path, right? He starts with the chickens; those will respawn way earlier, and that will
Yeah,
also mean that he will have the red buff for longer if the two junglers will meet in the mid lane after clearing the full 6 camps plus the grab. Now,
yeah,
Doom also has the option to keep clearing, and usually what happens is that you clear the whole jungle plus a half, so the chickens and the cracks again. You go
yeah.
back with a better buy, you will have the Heartbound Axe, and suddenly you can't even look for the 1v1s because Heartbound Axe into two longswords or a longsword and a Ruby Crystal is already way stronger as an early game, item spike.
Yeah, no, for sure. Probably he could even go back for the Tiamat as well if he wants to. If he wants to get closer to Stride Breaker as well. If he wants to contest the camps, he wants to get to level 6, gets better, get better wave clears in. Roamer desperately needs help here. This losing mid lane is not working out at all for Pain in this scenario.
Yeah, look at where the junglers are. They are both closing in. The bot lane has switched out to the top side, so they won't be playing towards the Drake, at least not for now. The Drake still needs a minute to spawn. You can play for 2 waves and then reset, but he'll be so late on the play that it might not even matter. Carioca, he's on the top side. He will be helping his top laner just shove the lane or at least not lose too many of those CS. The lane is frozen, and Doom has gone for the second half clear, so he will be closer to the plate. Maybe not ultimate close, but still close enough if he reaches those cracks.
Yeah, absolutely. With the Scuttle Crab also done, we'll be definitely starting to apply a lot of pressure, especially if Pain don't have this information. They don't know exactly where Doom is. This is going to create a world of trouble for the blue side team. And now Red Cannons keep on putting up pressure. And Wiser did not decide to swap out with the rest of the squad. So I guess Red Cannons decided to put this swap in place so that they can swap back later on. Let's see if FNB as well can sustain through a 2v1 situation pre-level 6. Wiser forced to back out under the tower as Rebello solo farms under his own tower. Like you said, lane frozen, perfect state for Rebello and Frosty. Now with the 2 members back, Rebello's left alone against Wiser in the top lane. Let's see if Pain catch up to this and decide to do something about this. But look at the vision control from Red Cannons Rev.
Yeah, they know exactly where Carioca is. They know exactly where to be wary. They know when to not play with the bot lane, when can Doom go and reset. Doom had a huge advantage because Carioca had to spend so much time on the top side. Now he lost most of it, but still, look, it is even because you got for that greedy pathing. That means that the camps are spawning earlier, and he's also lucky because the next Scuttle Crab will spawn in the bot lane where he is. He'll be so close to level 6, where I think if he gets the Gromp plus the Scuttle Crab plus the Drake, he should be level 6. So if there's going to be a fight over there, they might have a huge advantage if they might manage to secure the Drake as well.
Yep, absolutely. Karaoke still looking for his top side clear. He's not a very happy Trundle. He wants those interactions. He lives off of those interactions against the enemy jungler, and he's not having any success whatsoever. And like you said, Doom is slightly ahead in terms of builds. He has the Tunneler with him, and he's going for the first dragon, even though he's under sight. So Pain could decide to do something about this dragon, but they're in no position to do anything whatsoever. Carioca is going straight topside. He's going to ignore the dragon for the time being, allowing Red Cannons to actually take it absolutely for free, while the rest of the squad from Red Cannons read the play and start stacking top.
Yeah, they cannot dive even onto the Ambessa. Ambessa just take level 6 with the first minion, and that means that it's very, very hard to dive her. She has that shield, she will have the sustain, she can blink and actually crowd control the member of your team who's going to be tanking. And the one who wants to be tanking is the Alistar, but not without an ultimate. Frosty?
Nightmare coming through, going straight through the back line, looking for Carioca. One more hit. It's the first blood falling in hands of Kaze. If they can get more, they absolutely will. Next one in line should be Titan, where FNB is already mowing him down. Enemy AD carry absolutely out of line, where Doom picks up kill number 2 for the Red Cannons.
I mean, they made it look easy to place in 2 map positions, both of them solo one. FMB even donating the kill to his jungler because he knows if Doom gets ahead, the game will snowball out of proportions in the blink of an eye. And they start the game perfectly. We often hear casters say that the first paranoia is so important, and it's been more than a success.
It's a paranoia that we're gonna see time and time again. Oh, you see the replay. Titan managed to flash dodge away from the public execution, but the way that the fight was split, coming in with the paranoia straight on top of the enemy jungler with the ball delivery system.
Yeah, and Trundle doesn't manage to get away too far with a flash. The play then gets split, but it gets split because FNB has cornered Chidan as well. Chidan tried to connect with the rest of his team on the play, but then realized that there's nothing to be done over there. Just abandon it and abandon his life as well. So no flash for Chitan, no flash for Karaoke, and both of them can actually be in trouble in approximately 15 to 20 seconds time when Doom will have access to the paranoia again, because the shockwave is already off cooldown.
Is already off cooldown, and actually help me out here, because I see Doom with a Phage, I see Doom with a Tunner. Is that the experimental Hexblade? I feel like that would be the first item they would go for. It was a 1 steal, but still the camp goes towards Pain. I mean,
yeah, but you
glass
get
half
that.
full, right?
It's a free grab over there. You committed nothing. No wave was lost. No jungle timers was lost. Look at Doom. He's still farming up already like 3 camps over Karaoke. So it's a huge win right now. You're not allowing Rumble to be an absolute menace on this island, because that's what he's missing, right? On this island, he has some wave clear. He can reach the tower quite easily. But what he can't usually do
here we go. Once again, Paranoia going through straight into Karaoke, met with the perfect or the public execution, but the ultimate from Azir, Emperor's Divide, does go through, taking down Doom. Frosty joins the fight as well. Roamer and Karaoke doing a great job defending their side of the map as FNB breaks down running. Great stun by Frosty. Magical Adventure should get him out of there, and Rebello, but the equalizer is insanely good. Frosty gets knocked around like a ragdoll, and Weiser picks up a double.
And that's a turnaround over there from Pain. That play looked abysmal to start with, but Roamer shows his Azir prowess, managed to create a great ultimate onto Doom. Doom had nowhere to go. And then with the teleport from Weiser as well, they turn around the play, 3 kills for none. And the only thing they lose is a couple of plates in the bot lane where Kaze keeps getting ahead.
Yep. He does continue to gain some leads, but this was a little bit of an overextension as they go straight for the Trundle again, trying to take down the Smiter from the side of Pain, but it backfired tremendously in his close quarters angles.
Yeah, even Frosty hitting that Q doesn't matter at all. That bar will not change your fate. 2 stuns, still nothing to do. Excellent equalizer over here from Weiser. And Curry donates another kill to him. So that teleport was very, very successful. But I'm still looking at the goal difference where Red are keeping a slight advantage. And that's due to the pressure they have on the plates.
That's true. But then again, Pain already achieved their first feat of warfare here with the 3 kills before Red Canids did. And as we see the tweets coming through, we go Pain. We have Pain stands here in Twitter, but on this at the same time, the Monozillion wants a 3-0 on Red Canids side. I believe in a 3-0 on Red Canids side as well, considering their recent history. But as it stands right now, Pain on the transition from early to mid, they're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, they're looking fine as well. I'm looking at the item spikes. The Azure should be stronger. Nashor stood early on, way, way stronger than the Archangel stuff before it upgrades to a Surface Embrace. But there's the Experimental Hexblade, and they have found somebody.
Yep, there it is, a ball delivery system trying to go straight for Roamer. Roamer does get tempered, faded right under the tower, but there's not enough damage. Nobody can actually touch him. One more auto should do it. Doom, can he get close enough? He just needs to flash in, do something. He just walks up and auto attacks, but Kaze is going to bite the bullet for the sins of his team. Exhaust was unnecessary, but it's there to send the message. Dragon seems to be the objective for Pain here.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm looking at the map. Look, FNB still alone the top lane. Not teleport, yes, but they are playing an equal play, an even play, sorry, and then they're getting something on top. So before Kaze got the plates, now FNB will get the plates for himself. They will deny a couple of waves as well from the enemy team, solo laners, and that's a small W, but a W still for the side of Red. And it's not that they're getting heavily outscaled. The Ezreal is still a powerhouse in the late game, and Bessa scales so greatly. Now you're getting the flash plus a kill onto Azir, who's also getting denied a couple of ways. No way he survived here. It should be a single-digit HP. But on the other side, yeah, the rest of his team
bought so much time to the rest of the squad here.
Yeah. And the kill, I would very much prefer to go to Chitan. I also thought that the exhaust was a bit of an in, but then I remember that every support now plays with the Azil spellbook, so it's a board summoner.
It It is absolutely a borrowed summoner, but it is a valuable summoner nonetheless to be used on an Oriana, which was pretty much already dead. Though I
Yeah.
am concerned that Pain are really, really close to getting the full feats of warfare and getting the upgraded boots here. They only need one more objective. They already have the grub camp. They already have a dragon. Next camp should guarantee them the feats of warfare. But FNB is still really, really tight on the pressure here in whatever lane he finds himself in, really.
Yeah, he knows how to trade. I was taking a peek at Twitch chat, and stats wise, and we all know that stats do lie very, very heavily sometimes, but stats wise, FNB is the best ambassador in the West right now, all things considered. So we'll be keeping an eye on him. He will have some angles to play, but so far right now, he's at his most vulnerable because he feels strong, but Weiser is very, very strong indeed. And Curry, he's looking for an angle.
Perfect execution straight on top of Corey, but he's not going to go anywhere. There's a killing spree on Weiser will allow him to push down the bot lane and potentially get first brick on the bottom lane here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Corey is not going to be paying any assistance to his top laner, as we do see red cannons starting to stack in the mid lane. Probably thinking about something nefarious to go down here on Titan and Romer,
And
or
they
in this
know
case,
that
Carioca.
they're not too fast to go and play on the turret. FNB can teleport there, so they're looking to still control the area around the Rift Held. You talked about it. Yes, the first turret will give the Fits of War, but so will the next neutral objective. And maybe if you take the Rift Held with all the platings that you have secured, top and bot, you can answer that first turret blood very, very hastily.
Okay. The Herald is going to be started by the red cannons. Pain for now ignoring this objective, knowing full well that this is not going to guarantee feats of strength here for the red cannons. So they're going to focus on first break. FNB unable to do anything about this. There it goes. First break over to the Pain side. They do get the Herald, but it's too little too late unless they use it properly and get a massive value out of it. Carioca forcing the flash out of FNB as well. Not having the best game on the Ambessa here. Feels a little low-keyed.
Yeah, he feels a little lackluster after that first play, but once again, it's a champion that does scale. She does need all the points in her ultimate, but maybe Kaza will not have them.
Emperor's Divide to toss him onto the side of Pain. Kazi is under Azir's tower, might be in a load of trouble as the sun comes through. The kill is offered on the silver platter over to Romer. And Pain are starting to ramp up their tempo quite a bit, and Red Cannon don't seem to be following through.
Yeah, they did. I think it was a very, very conscious exchange over there because you could have flashed away if you wanted to, but then you will not have the flash for the next fight, which will supposedly be on the next Drake in a minute or so. So you do want the gold from the turret. He does complete right now a needlessly Ratch Road, which is a very, very awkward component to complete. 1200 gold isn't something to scoff at. And he does give his life in exchange just to play for the next fight. So I'm really looking forward to see what they will do with the Rift Herald. I expect them to either use it on the bot lane and try to secure a tower, or use it mid lane to just place a lose-lose scenario in the hands of Pain. Tell them you either lose position in the river or you lose the mid lane tier 1, which is honestly the most important tier 1 of them all. And then they can play for the Drake. So then Kaze can actually flash away from an Alistair combo or from Chains of Corruption and be way more impactful in the fight to come.
Red Cannons, however, they want to stack in this mid lane. They want to take it down as fast as they can. Trying to control the vision, trying to stun Curry here. They do find it, but as soon as they see Carioca and the Wiser also approaching that brush, they immediately magical journey themselves away. Having a little bit of trouble keeping up with this wave clear and this control that Pain are dictating. The pace that Pain are dictating is actually pretty intense. Going straight for the dragon. It is the Chemtech dragon. Not a lot of interest from the teams on this objective, but the Herald is deployed in a mid lane.
Yeah, immediately FNB is still pressuring the top side. Curry, almost half HP. Oh my god, that works!
It does, yeah.
I thought it was patched out!
Nope, it works. It's working as intended. You pillar the headbutt of the Herald, it goes absolutely nowhere, and you just wasted a massive objective buff. Red Cannons, however, they find this opportunity to try and take the dragon, but they leave the mid lane wide open for Pain to push in. Ball's in a good position. Can Kaze pull the trigger here on a massive shockwave? Paranoia is also available, and there goes the teleport on the backline from Pain. Red Cannons, they go in with the ball. Can they get a shockwave? No, they can't. Emperor Fate, stun 2 down. FNB on the backline trying to go for Titan, but can he get the kill? No. Doom goes down first. FNB follows soon. Red Cannons fall apart in the river for Pain.
And they all live with just a sliver of HP, but that sliver is just enough. Romer 1 HP, Curie 1 HP, and they still get 3, will get the wave, will get the Drake, they will get whatever they wish for and more. Pain, they're here to fight.
Well, I mean, people wanted to see where Pain were going. This split in particular, getting 2-0'd on their last match against Red Cannons. Red Cannons, who were undefeated, they were looking super, super strong, and they themselves said, we want to take this series because the first best of 3 felt easy. How is this feeling now? I bet not so great, because there's a 3.5k lead for Pain right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like we can insert the SpongeBob meme. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? And just insert Red Cannons over there. But the game is completely in Pain's hand, but nothing's over until it's over. I've seen it so many times. And of course, let's not forget that we are watching the LTA South. So let's watch that replay. The thought was excellent. There's an angle there on both of the carries, but that flash makes sure that only one of them does get damaged. Chitan hits me with a Chains of Corruption, but that doesn't matter because Kaze was out of the fight, and instead of focusing Romer, FNB wanted to eliminate Chitan as well. So that split focus over there is what ended up costing for Red so much. Of course, Rebello and Frosty end up surviving, but they also spent so many useful summoners like Kaze no Flash, Rebello no Flash, and no barrier as well.
Did you see where the shockwave went?
Yeah, only on Romer, no?
Only on Romer because the other 2 were tempered faded by Frosty.
Oof. That's unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate. Everything seemed good, but Frosty pulled a Bard on his own team. Incredible. Let's see them coordinate that a little bit better on the next few fights, or else. I mean, I don't think they have a lot more left in them if the tempo keeps on rising for Pain like this, because they have the hyper scaling of the Azir, they have Titan to hold on the rest of the game if they need to. And let's be realistic, Red Cannons don't have a dedicated frontline tank to really mitigate the incoming damage from Titan.
Yeah, the Herald is 1 HP. Tempered Fate slightly too late, but will they look for the fight afterwards? All those pedals make them stronger. They have abandoned mid lane and they are still looking. That could be the end of them.
Could be the end of them. FNB, nowhere to go but back to base on top of the equalizer. A lot of cooldowns were popped, but Red Cannons, no answer to that.
Yeah, you can't really do anything right now. You've missed the opportunity to take down the mid-tier 1 as well. You have to wait for the next wave and together with the next wave. Oh,
lights are off. Nobody's home. We do see Doom going straight on top of Romer. Romer does Emperor divide, but he's only going to divide by 0 and blow up back to base.
That's something. You're getting some gold for yourself, almost equalizing the jungle differential. Yeah. But still, it's not too much. The most important part is that Romer is off the map for 40 more seconds. So you're winning some tempo back on at least one wave, which will be the top lane. And unfortunately, that's the most unattractive wave to be on right now. Only FNB can go and pressure their Orianna. Really doesn't like all those extended lanes. And FNB has been the target so many times. So right now, he's going to always have second thoughts before pushing in deep into the side lane.
Second thoughts are always going to be there. Titan and Carioca still around the mid lane trying to defend this tower, and they're not going to make it easy for Red Cannons to take it. Kaze and Frosty, though, they do see Wiser. They want to do something about him, but they really can't. Pain are playing way too safe. They don't want to make any mistakes, and they know that any mistake will be severely punished by Red Cannons. But so far, FNB is having a very awkward game on the Ambessa, not really having any space to move around, any space to really play League of Legends right
now. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder. They're getting corralled into their own jungle, and I really like what Pain is doing right now because they know that Red have difficulty in pressuring all lanes. They want to be playing with the Nokoriana combo time and time again,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the experimental Hexblade that Doom did invest into. So they're
Black
just
Cleaver's
dropping
second
up.
item.
I mean, the Cleaver is fine, especially since you're playing with Ambessa and the Ezreal. You want to
No
be
stride
making
breaker?
sure. I think if you go straight break, you need to go first. So
Okay.
it's either that or experimental Hexblade, and he has opted in the aggressive option and now is paying for his hubris. But on the other hand, like if you wanna win at this point, you need to be dealing damage. The Ezreal still needs a third item to be a
What are you
force to
talking
be
about? He didn't
reckoned
buy
with.
Hubris. Oh.
Wap, wap,
Wop,
wap.
wop, pillar go. Pillar go. Then goes big
Oh,
shockwave coming through. Might be in trouble in the back line. We do see the
oh
public
no.
execution going straight. No, not again, Frosty. They still find the kill on Wiser, but the equalizer was still deployed. The fight resumes in the jungle of red cannons, but the flag has been placed and all your jungles are belong to Pain.
That could have been the perfect play, and I don't even think that Frosty really ruined it. But it's a goal diff right now. All those extra items,
Is
all the extra tankiness, the lethality, you name it, are coming in strong for Pain, who will win another fight 3-4-2. It was a close fight this time round, but they also secure another Drake, and this Drake is the sole point, so it's getting very, very difficult for the side of red to actually execute the enemy team with the Chemtech. So,
you
oh
can't
my
tell
god,
me that
oh my god.
Frosty didn't ruin that. You
I mean,
cannot tell me that Frosty didn't ruin that.
Wiser did nothing afterwards. Okay, so if he died earlier, it would have meant absolutely nothing,
It
bar maybe a
completely killed the
reposition.
fight for FNB.
I'm trying to cope right now. Okay, let me be. He knows. He knows.
He knows. He so knows. Oh no, they know. Oh yeah,
Oh,
they're aware.
you know that like in his brain, the song like plays. What you say?
Oh, there we go again. We barely
Always
had any time to
ultimate.
breathe, but Titan is looking to get slaughtered as a change of corruption land right in the back. Frosty with a good-tempered fade,
Oh my
but
god.
look at the piercing arrow. Doom eats everything, including the equalizer. And now Red Cannons are doing what they've been doing most of the game, which is run away towards their base. But Pain are just steamrolling through each and every front line, and their eyes are on Baron.
I see. Look at the
Hello?
ultimate cooldowns from the side of red. Do you see that shockwave is still up?
I do see that shot. I don't think it was up
Uh,
at the beginning of the fight.
it
That's the
was.
problem. Was it?
I think it was the combo just failed. He let him get out of range and then he never connected, and that means that Chitan can leave without even using his barrier, without even like sweating too much, and the fight was over the moment it started. Now Baron buff goes into the pockets of Pain, and they're ready to inflict more and more of their name onto the red
Mm-hmm.
canids.
Yeah, and FNB, I mean, statistically, what a great player, but man, this is a game to forget here for FNB, at least for the time being. There's still room to improve. There's still room to get more items and to become a serious threat. But right now, Pain have all the answers that they need, as we do see a replay of what happened.
See, the ultimate is
You're
there.
right, the
It's up.
shockwave was available, but he just wasn't
Oh
there.
my god. Oh,
That's the
he
thing,
doesn't
he
care.
was not there.
He was with Nocturne at the start of the fight. The ball disconnected. It was a series
Mm-hmm.
of unfortunate events, and also you see that Chitan plays with Korean, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, makes sense.
I swear to God, all of those pro players are just role playing in LCK.
He doesn't need to understand what's written on his screen. He just needs to play, and there we go.
Oh,
Turtle in the
Korea,
bot lane has been dropped in from behind. We do
they
see
fell
that Doom
again.
is trying to find, but he can find no one unless FNB has space to play, and he does. They finally take down Roamer. Big shutdown. It's a 2-for-2 for the time being. But Red have nothing left in their tank. Karaoke is just going to run down Red Cannons into the tower of the inhibitor. He's going to back off. He's a little bit too low. Wiser, no equalizer, no cooldowns on Pain, but they don't need cooldowns. They just need their presence to take down these towers. Massive push from the blue team.
Oh, they failed again on the combo. FMB tries to do something, but he might die.
Yeah,
He
he
will
ran out
die.
his. What? Yeah. Man
I
ran out of
mean,
steam. The thing about Mbessa is that the cooldowns are relatively long, and FNB used everything to try to step up to him, but then he had no abilities to actually dash out of the fight.
you know what FNB stands for, right? Fight
Uh,
and buy, because he goes in and then he dies. Look, the ball is on to Doom. They want to do the combo. It starts nicely. It's
but
not
it just,
there.
it's
It's not
gone.
there. Yeah, Kaze once again lets him go out of
Kaze
range. They
needs to be
might get the
closer.
kill.
It's like
Like,
Kaze
yeah,
needs to be closer, and Doom needs to communicate better that he needs to be for Kaze to be closer, or he just needs to hold the paranoia a little while longer for Kaze to walk up.
I think it's too little too late at this point. The Baron will expire in 10 seconds time, and the Baron power play isn't the greatest one. It's 3k, so 1500 gold more than they started with. But right now, in 30 seconds, the next Drake spawns. There's no vision at all for Red at this side of the river, and they're getting choked out of their own jungle time and time again. And
Yeah.
Kaze might die over here. Good night.
Kaze, Emperor's Device straight into the back. I mean, Tempered Fate was a nice little touch from Frosty, but it was a little bit too late on the trigger there. And Painter's going to run it
They're
down
diving.
mid.
They're diving.
Frosty, nothing to do. Curry in the back. Lights go out, but there's nobody home because Red Cannons are just forced to walk away as Rebello blows up.
I thought that Weiser needs crowd control to play the Rumble. One person was crowd control, two more got equalized. Who cares about the Drake? They're only looking at the next start, and Curry keeps on
Oh,
diving.
yep, FNB tries to go for the public execution on the back line, but he did absolutely nothing in terms of damage. He's just being corralled back to his base,
Jesus.
but he's being burned up at the entrance as Pain secure game one in an upsetting lead. 23-8 on the scoreboard. Painter's so back, baby.
Yeah, they only needed 5 seconds over 30 minutes to complete this game. One slaughter over Red, and expectations be damned. We do have the series in our hands, at least theoretically, because practically in two games time we might see that we don't have a series in our hand anymore.
Mentally, I think Red Cannons would have been boom because that, from top to bottom, they had an idea on how they wanted to play the game, but it just started to fall apart so hard and so fast. I mean, ball delivery system be damned, they couldn't even deliver a single ball past the third strike.
I mean, I don't know. Everything started falling apart, and yeah, that could be the case. It could be that Red are just in, I know, mental team. If things start rolling for them, they can steamroll anyone. But if anything goes south, they instantly boom. And that still remains to be seen, because that's now out of the player's hand and into the coach's hand, who can slap some sense back into this team, or they can see them just crumble.
Yeah, but let's see what happens because game one is dead and gone. Good start from Red Cannons, but ultimately, what a steamroll. And once you have that kind of draft, you have your ball delivery system, you have your independent AD carry, you have a roaming support, everything seems fine, and you hard lose like that, you need to bring some fresh ideas into game two, or else the series is going to be real short, Rev.
Yeah, it still remains to be seen. We saw yesterday, we expected after the game one from VKS that series to be very long and very hectic, and it wasn't. So let's see if there's a script, if there's a trend. I don't know. I am holding my breath right now.
Oh, please don't. We still have 2 more games to go at least. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break before we head into game number 2. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. my lord, we are so back as I did not have enough of that game one. Pain actually kicking off with a big game over Red Cannons, but we're back for game number two. Let's see if there was a mental reset or if, is that a cat? Oh my god, cat cam. I may see this guy right here is Rev, and he's got a tabby cat, which is a cute little boy. How you doing, Rev? Give me cat. Oh my god, he's got a little blankie with him. That's not the cat that I just saw. You're lying to me.
Yeah, it's a different cat. I have 4 of them.
It's a big cat. A big boy.
He's a good boy, though. His name is Bulbasaur. He's the best Pokemon.
He's got the bulb part, I'll tell you that much. Hey! Game 2, though.
Yeah.
Red Cannons, they kicked it off well, but I guess they had a few issues individually, right, in the micro side of things, because the macro initially seemed to be there, but FNB was just the best game at all.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what I really didn't like from them gameplay is that the moment one fight went astray, everything collapsed, right? From that fight onwards, we saw half of the ball delivery system combos failing suddenly, and that's something that it's very easy to just train and do it every single time. It might only hit one person, but you can achieve it every single time. So you saw that something was cracked in their minds, and they didn't manage to ever break it back. Now, the question is, it's very close to the end of game one. It's been like 10-12 minutes. How can you clean that slate? How can you shake yourself off? Because if I remember correctly, they're not like the most seasoned of teams, right? Doom has been playing for quite some time, Kaza as well, Rebel as well, but they've not been playing together for all that time. And as far as I know, I've seen FNB can't really handle defeat. The last game you saw the tilt in his face. And the moment you see that, I'm not sure you can go back very easily.
No, it's not gonna be an easy feat here for the Red Cannons, but we do have confidence in their staff to bring their players' mentals to their finest place here. Realistically, Red Cannons right now, they're playing a best of 3 because they only get 2 more strikes before they're out, or they're not out, they're going straight into the bottom of the cage here. But we are starting draft, and we do see a very similar ban. Pain, however, get relegated to the red side with the Red Cannons on the blue here.
Yeah, I mean, is now blue side so strong that you need to first pick it? What will you go for? Silas was the last ban in the first rotation from Pain last time around. I want to see if they still prioritize that ban. It does fit Doom's portfolio. He wants to be active. He wants to be ganking, especially around Kaza's side. And what I really like about that pick is that it can be still flexed. And if you asked me, and I know you didn't, and you never will, but it can be flexed into 3 roles right now.
Wait, who?
Silas. You know what I'm talking about.
Get out of here.
Come
Get out of here. No, you can flex him. You can flex him top, sure. You can flex him mid,
No,
sure.
no,
But
no,
you
no,
cannot
no, no,
convince me that you're going to flex that boy in the jungle. Oh,
Support.
You got me good.
Support jungle and mid, I think, are his roles, and especially into something
Or
like
jungle and mid.
Yeah, I mean, he's very good in jungle right now. He's fine at least in jungle.
Pass him top. Just let him build masks.
No,
fine.
he's useless in the top lane. Most of the early skirmishers will slap him around.
Right, but he's got so many good ults that he can steal.
Yeah, okay. Listen, I used to play competitive in like tier 2, 3 in Greece. Yeah, and I remember the last season before I retired from competitive completely, we had a team with a top laner. He wanted to play Silas top. That sent me into retirement, man. No more Silas top.
That sounds like a you problem. I'm gonna be honest. It sounds like you were the problem. If that thing threw you into retirement, it wasn't even your thing. This for the competitive. Now we do have a Maokai that was banned last game and locked in for Karaoke here on Pain's side. I am curious. At the same time, am I curious? Is that Maokai going into the jungle? Is that still a thing?
He will go into the jungle, I think. There's no other real lane for him. He has been nerfed heavily in support. He has been nerfed kind of in the top lane. And people don't really like playing him in top lane for some reason. I think it's the lane swaps. right now that kind of got him out, and then just people forgot. So I think he's still in the jungle, and I think that he opens up a lot of the Silas angle right now because the Rockets might not be such a great ultimate anymore, but it's still fine to press those three ultimates. The Maokai is great for the Silas, and right now you do have a lot of space for yourself with the Jin Zhao and the Silas combo, so you can wait for your team to start out the engage, and then you can be like the secondary engage and give all the space that Yunara needs to auto attack the enemy into oblivion.
Okay. And I do see that Pain bring out the Cho'Gath, even though Yorick has not been picked or banned yet, meaning that if Game 3 rears around, Red Cannons can pick up the Yorick for F&B, and the Cho'Gath will not be available to feast on the Maiden. A bit plus here for the Red Cannons, but so far, Wet Noodle Fest in the top lane. It's Cho'Gath, it's Scion, whatever. But I am curious to see the Yunara here. That's gonna
I
be
mean,
something.
I like Cho'Gath because he's a natural anti-tank tank. No,
He
it's
is,
one of
yeah,
those. Like Mundo is considered an anti-tank. Cho'Gath as well. He has, I think, max HP
he
damage.
does.
So
He does.
people are maxing it as well when playing into tanks. It's very nice, and you kind of negate the science early game bullying that he can do because he is very strong early game, and suddenly it doesn't matter. You have the carnivore passive. You can heal up forever. But yeah, it's one more GOAT ultimate, so you're taking away the Silas. Romer doesn't really want to play these things, or the Corki has been locked in for Romer. But I think the Corki is an answer to Inara to have at least some pressure in the early game into that absurdly broken champion right now.
Oh, the Ed. Okay, never mind. I was seeing an Annie, and the Annie has some issues with the scaling, but that's a Zoe being hovered as well. That's not being seen in a very, very long time. Last time we saw a little hover like this, we saw Loud insta locking. We saw Loud insta locking the Pike to absolutely demolish. But it's gonna be the Nico on the support role, and they're gonna leave the mid lane open for decision here on this last pick. See what Red Cannons have in store for them.
I
Over mid.
mean, the Karma, I think the Karma should be supported. It's a very nice answer onto Nico. It's very, very oppressive into all those enchanters on the other side who just want to be dealing damage. And also, it's a very good combo with Jin Zhao. So if you find the angles just allow
True.
Yunara to be farming up with her QAOE damage, suddenly Jin Zhao gets accelerated very heavily onto the map. His skirmishing becomes absurd. And Maokai can't really deal with him if he managed to stick on top of him, because there's always the option that
What about
Maokai will be running
Galio?
phase rush for for
For
for
red
red.
cannons, the Galio angle, yeah.
Where's the damage then?
And I trust Zinzao and Yunara to bring some damage because you're not going to get that much damage out of Rise on the early mid game. Whoa, okay, that's Rise getting locked in for Kaze.
The thing is with the Rise that he's a better split pusher, I think, than the Galio. Yes, the Galio has
True.
all that wave clear, but he can't really deal with turrets. Whereas the Rise can dish damage, can deal with turrets, he's mobile, and
Oh,
has
I
wave
like this.
clear from way outside. Now the Zaya, not
I
really.
like the Zaya very much, Rev. I like the Zaya a lot more than what I like the Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa's locked in, but you know what the Zaya would mean? That on the
What?
next draft, the Zaya Rakan would not be available as a combo. Still
The thing
is.
is, yeah, it still is, and I would hate Desire because it would suck into the karma. I mean, Kais also kind of sucks into the karma, but you are kind of playing for the backline dive, I guess. If Cho'Gath gets a Q, if your Maoka engages, if Nico finds an engage, you just try to execute the enemy backline.
Wait,
Thing
whoa.
is,
That's a Corky mid. Wow, okay, never mind.
yeah.
I completely zoned out there. I saw the Corky locked in, and I thought they were emptying for the mid lane, but then the bot lane gets locked. Another AD carry gets locked in, and it's the Corky coming back into the mid lane.
I
Wise is not going to
mean,
have a good time.
yeah, he won't until he will. I think the moment you get the first two items, you don't really care about the Corki. You can also I want to say you can run the plated steel caps, but there's so much crowd control from the side of Pain that if you're going to be going for the defensive boots, you might as well go for the mech threats. So since you are split between the two defensive options, just go the offensive option. You don't really care about anything else. Try this out as much damage as possible. I am very,
Just
very
get
perplexed by this
Swifties.
Kaisa pick. because it's really not a lot of pressure on the Yunara. Not sure I love the synergy with the Nico unless you go full AP, but you don't really want to go full AP. Your Maokai will most likely play with the Liandris. Your Cho'Gath will
Yeah, you
have
don't
some
need
AP damage. Yeah, you go for the on hit.
Yeah, you don't need to go AP Kaisa considering you already have the Nico doing quite a bit of damage. Like you said, the Maokai is going to go for the Masks build. That's what we've been seeing, at least in Europe. As far as I'm aware,
Mhm.
you have seen a couple of Maokais here and there, and they've all gone for the mask builds, going into Leandries, going into the Bloodletter. Oh, fun little fact, fun little side
Yeah,
note
yeah.
here, Rev. Did you know that the new patch also brought a brand new bug?
With Singed?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so
incredible.
that.
He applies bloodletter on himself.
I mean,
He shreds his own MR.
I think it would be funnier if it would be Mundo, especially the old Mundo, because he was a masochist. So shredding his own MR would actually suit his thematic. But now it doesn't. Now he's just a businessman who pushes.
I mean, he's a good businessman, though. He knows what he's doing. He's good. He's good at what he does. Big ward in here from Kaze gets eliminated. So no information getting gathered here by the red cannons on the blue side as Karioka is going to start on the
Aha!
Raptors.
You,
Karioka did no
there's
didn't
a cat.
see.
They
He did
see the
not see.
cat.
Wait, they see
Uh
the cat, but the cat did
oh.
not see the ward. That is a very awkward angle.
Oh my goodness. Karek doesn't know that they know that he doesn't know.
Nope, he
Now,
does not. And this is going to be free information for the red cannons. I mean, there wasn't even a ping because he was not in range for the war. That was awkward. And now Painter gonna do business as usual, and red cannons are gonna play everything around it. It's gonna be incredible, an incredible early start here for or at least they have the opportunity to make it incredible, the red cannons.
I
Let's see if
mean,
they do.
last game around, it was absolutely the same, right? They knew exactly where karaoke was at all times, and it didn't really matter. So
It didn't.
I won't be holding that into too much accord, at least so far. And I'll be waiting to see what happens after minute 10. Now, so far, Payne should have the advantage in 2 out of 3 lanes. Bot lane is kind of awkward. And you know what's more awkward?
Mm-hmm.
Chitan plays with Ghost. He kind of
Okay.
shreds, abandons the laning phase already. Curry has used the heal. There is no unsealed spellbook this time around because you're playing all those aggressive supports. You need the extra damage to try and survive a lane. So without a barrier, without an extra heal, without an exhaust, Chitan is always so on the verge of dying from a single all-in combo.
That could be true, but we do see Doom at level 3 looking for a gank on Romer, who immediately ease out of there. Now Doom proceeds into Karioka's jungle looking for information, looking for camps, and trying to do something about the early information that he gathered. Uri is right in the corner as well, safeguarding his jungler. But Doom does get spotted. It's not going to deter him from trying to go in.
I don't think he
Putting a lot of pressure
outsmites.
on Karioka. Smite is available, and it is going to go down as we take a look at the mid lane where Romer 1v1ing on Kaze. He will have to flash out of that one if he wants to stay alive. Kaze has run out of mana, so he won't be
Doom!
able to Q, but Doom is right around the corner. One more
Oh,
auto. He
no!
reset the auto. No, Doom dives it after resetting the auto, but he's fine. He just had to flash in for it.
Oh my god, he did reset the auto. He didn't have the audacious charge, and that means he needs to spend his flash as well. Kind of unlucky, but you do get those slight advantage for the red side jungle. The game
Ah,
starts
yes.
exactly in the same way as the previous
Wait
game.
for it. It's two tanks, no mana in their bars, trying to duke it out here in the top lane. What an interesting little kerfuffle we have going on here.
No, wait, because Cho'Gath can have man. Oh, wait, look at the damage.
Rebello, big shield coming through, but Titan does have the
Flash,
ghost. He's
one
going
more.
in, flashes out, one more auto, and he does have the kill, the 2v2, and they want more. Painter biting, Painter fighting, and they just got Prio in the bot lane, baby.
How does that work? How do you get your ADC so isolated from the support that they can all in on him without you being able to do anything? And that's huge for Pain. Suddenly, Yunara loses one of her strong suits, which is the laning phase.
Boy, now we have another fight right up top on River where Pain seem to be between a rock and a hard place, and Weiser with no mana on his bar is going back to base
Romer
really,
dies.
really fast. Looks like Romer is going to follow suit. One more ability combo here should be enough, and it's going to be FNB who queues his way into 300 gold.
I don't want to be cheated right now because he for suddenly says, "Guys, we won bottom lane. Now the game's over." And he presses tab and sees the rest of the map just collapsing. Left, right,
Romer's
and center.
not having a good time. Romer's not having a good time. 10 CS behind Kaze.
You know what? His name suggests that he's a roamer, right? But every time he's left mid lane, everything has gone south. And not LTA South, to be honest. But let's see what happened here because, that hit from Curry was clean. And then Frosty
the wave was massive, dude.
Yeah, he also abandoned his ADC. That ghost suddenly paved the way into...
That's the thing. I don't feel like he abandoned him. Like, the wave was just too big. He couldn't get close without, like, tanking the whole thing. So he just awkwardly tried to walk parallel to the AD carry, but jeez, Rick. The auto race. That's so ugly to see, man.
That's when you try to, to min-max everything and you end up like almost costing your life, right? In the end, didn't really matter. Still keeping a nice and healthy 500 gold advantage onto the Maokai. And Red is still ahead, but not by too much. I mean, the gold diff is 500. That's all the jungle gold diff because the rest of the map is equalized. And I'll be keeping an eye on the Kai'Sa as well if Yunara managed to find her way back into the game.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough ask, though. Where have we seen this small advantage for Red Canids before? It's like we saw it last game at this stage as well.
Oh my goodness.
Into the game, they have like a 200 gold lead, something like that. And all of a sudden, it just blows away. Romer now, he's being heavily pressured on the tower. He's going to be forced back.
I think last game it was even a bigger advantage for the side of Red. So I still know, of course, different champions as well. This time, Karaoke is not really playing a skirmisher. Maokai really excels in team fighting, especially with the Faded Ashes build. You really want to be having your time, really tending your garden. I had a co-caster who used to call the saplings, little onions because they make you cry every time you walk over them.
They used to be worse. Remember when they changed the ratios from Q to E? Now we do see Harioka getting knocked up, stunned down. He's still sustaining, but he ultimately gets taken down by Kaze. And now they leave Weiser and Kuri a little bit alone as Romer walks down to the bottom lane. Kaze already stacks a double kill. 4 members from Red Canids are just going to stack on top of this dragon and just eliminate everybody that Pain decides to throw at the dragon. And they're going to secure the objective.
I mean, can we check Pain's internet connection? Because they are very, very disconnected from one another. What's going on there? You are just running in one at a time, never being on the same page. And suddenly the 200-300 gold diff has inflated into 2K 8 minutes into the game. That's massive. The Rise is 303. He has almost completed the Road of Ages.
Listen,
that Road of Ages will give him level 10 to 11.
Yeah. I mean, Rise is already in late game, and if you know me, you know I'm a hater for I'm a Wukong in the jungle hater, massive Wukong in the jungle hater. But I am also an AP Maokai. I feel like he just doesn't do enough, and this is proof of it. He's just not tanky enough. He can't really go in.
I see the issue. I thought we saw Maokai come, but there's no Korean here, so that might be the issue right now. It doesn't work like that. He's getting so much done. Kaze, I mean, what a difference from last game. He was failing the most basic of pro combos with the no Koreana, and now he's playing one of the most mechanical mid lane champions into perfection in a very, very difficult early game.
You spam QE. Hashtag.
I mean, it doesn't really work like that. You know it.
You Q and you E and you auto.
And you sometimes W, and you need to think of when do you want your essence flags to be around.
Whenever it's available, because you need to move fast.
You're just a hater.
Rise is just old, man.
He has been reworked 12 times.
So has Twisted Fate. Where's he?
I mean, they tried playing him in MSI. He won 0 games. Same as Kalista.
He hasn't won games recently. The thing is, he is a stun body.
When?
He basically yellow cards you.
Yeah.
I believe it was in LTA South he was used, if I'm not mistaken. I will check
Okay.
back on that. Comment
No, no, no,
on
no,
what's
no.
on the screen.
I will actually go through the stats right now. I will expose
Ow!
you. I will
You
expose
you
you.
will do no such thing.
LTA South. Picks and bans. Let me check.
Gosh darn it.
Twisted Fate. I see nothing. Like mid lane. There's one
How
Twisted Fate.
exactly? I knew he was played. See? Gotcha.
Okay, okay. Did he win or did he lose?
I believe he won.
God damn it.
I believe he did. I believe he did.
He did win.
I know.
But okay. Ground rules. Ground rules. If he won versus Flaxo, it doesn't count. Okay.
I don't think it was against
I'm
Fluxo.
checking games.
Go
I'm
for it.
checking
Go for
games
it.
right now.
In the meantime, I'm checking out FMB just stacking up the side in the top lane as he should, because right now Red Cannons individually, all lanes are ahead.
It
Apart
was
from the
into
bot lane.
Isurus. It's almost the same.
Hey, that's offensive. Isurus won split 1. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, and then
The rest is
wait,
history.
no, wait. Isurus didn't win split 1. Isurus Ezreal lead. Isurus Gaming haven't won anything.
How dare you?
Dun dun dun.
Regardless, we
Yep.
do have a split view here of what's going on as Red Cannons are applying so much pressure in the bot side of the map. Rebella might be in trouble. Yunara, that's gonna be a solo kill. Titan goes up for the flash, but Rebella goes over the wall. And now Titan has to run away from the tower, allowing these plates to fall for the Red Cannons. But that Kaisa is dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, look at the item differential. The gold might not look like it, but there's a completed Kraken Slayer into Recurve Bow and some random swords and daggers that they found. That's not gonna make it happen for Rabella. Rabella loses both of his summons, but to his happiness, so does Chitan, and Chitan didn't get anything for his trouble as the rest of his team was around the corner, ready to cover his back.
And in the meantime, Carioca still having a lot of trouble closing out a single item. He is sitting on the Fated Ashes, like you said, and the Guinsus. He just needs the 800 gold to finish closing the Leandries and start applying a lot more pressure on a Red Cannons that desperately need to be chopped down. Starting to stock a lot of HP.
Yeah, and the only silver lining from anyone losing right now from Pain, I'd say, is Wiser, because he will go for the full tank. He is very, very lagging in terms of items.
The bait!
It was very
He pulled
nice
a
on
flash out of
Slippery.
FMB because he thought it was Carioca coming up. Now we do see Frosty and Doom looking for the dive on Roamer. He's already 0-3. Please let the man breathe. And they do. They let him breathe. It was all a bait. Red Cannons, they can't close the kill, but they finally do. It's Kazi who's going to tank that one tower shot, but they successfully extract from Pain's jungle.
See, sometimes you don't need to EQ, you just Q, and you manage to hit them. Getting one more kill for his troubles. 403, already 3 stacks on the Road of Ages. Now, Pain, want to be making a play on the top side, want to be answering, but how do you dive that Scion?
Well, like that, you waste his ult, he doesn't have flash, and he's going to get chomped down by Wiser, giving him a free feast sack.
I mean,
but what else do you get out of that? Absolutely nothing. You're not going to get a tower. You're not going to get the grubs. You just got to kill.
The thing is, like, I don't think you can dive the Scion, but if Scion goes out with the turret range, it looks easier. Okay, that's something.
Jump scare.
And that's a dead.
Wiser, no mana on his pool. EQ from Kazi. Look at the man go.
Oh.
Wow, what an incredible outplay. He E'd the enemy champion. What?
Can you do that? Can you do that?
Press E, a point click ability? I don't know, man. Not in this level, no.
See. I mean, that's what I think of. So.
No, but look at the plate gold that was collected. Right, that's 874 to just 125. Overall, Pain Gaming only took 1 plate on the whole map.
You know what I hate? When the plate gets split, you lose that 1 gold. It really triggers with the OCD I don't have.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I do worry about it. Where does that 1 gold go? Does the bank get it? Will Kaze die? Does he have teleport?
He doesn't have ult because he used it to try to kill
As
Wiser.
Flash. As
Wiser
Flash.
is hungry. The feast is available. The flash has been used. Pop Blossom comes through. 2-for-1 deal. Yes, please, anytime. Pain get the first kill. They look for Doom, but they say enough is enough. We have a Herald to go to.
I mean, that's so much gold in their pocket. Rabel as well will collect this tower most likely. Yep, with the help of the grabs, if I'm not mistaken. Whether,
Wait, but
yeah,
they
they
didn't
do
go
have
for
regards.
Herald.
They
They
now
got the
go for
kill
Herald.
on Kaze, and they don't go for Herald. They leave it for Doom. 3 members of Red Cannon stacking on the objective. Pain are just letting it happen.
Look at the cooldowns, man. There's no ultimate on Curry. There's no heal on Curry. There's no flash on Karaoke. There's no ultimate.
You have
Yeah,
Feast.
and then you die.
It's okay. It's the ultimate objective security. That's why you have the Cho'Gath. You need those objectives. Ah!
I think there's like a scale over there of how many things is worth trading for that Herald, and I don't think 3 lives is worth trading for that Herald.
I don't think you'd get a fight for 3 lives. I mean, Doom didn't
How?
have his ult up.
Yeah, he still has like a full item, merc threads.
I trust them. They clearly don't trust their own damage, but that's
Yeah.
fine. Now,
I
Red
mean,
Cannons,
maybe
they're gonna
maybe
want
they
to.
also maybe they didn't know that Kaze doesn't have access to the teleport, because if he would, that would be a failed fight every day of the week. But with no teleport from Kaze, it could be kind of one. Not sure if it's really worth for you to take that fight. Sometimes it's better to take the small incremental wins and try to slowly yet surely fight for control and take the role back from the enemy hands. But now, yeah, that could be the angle. I can accept that, but maybe it's too risky.
Perhaps. Now, Romer is left alone again under the tier 1 tower bot. Carioca, and Kuri roaming down bot lane. Doom in the front line. He picks up the Herald, takes a ride straight into the tower. There goes the structure. Now it's down to tier 2. Will they use the Herald for tier 2, or will they decide to go for the tier 2 in the mid lane? They decide to abandon the Herald. They got what they came for, and now they're just going to dominate the bottom half of the Summoner's Rift for the upcoming dragon in just 1 minute.
Yeah, and in that minute, there will be completed Seraph's Embrace for Kaze. He just completed it in 3 minutes. He will have the extra level as well. It will push him most likely towards level 14 or 15. He managed to secure some extra time alone on the side lane. But he's so strong right now. 3k of gold lead lie in his pockets alone. So I'm kind of thinking that this exactly is the angle for Pain to come back into the game. If you manage to find the peak, you suddenly eradicate 3k gold lead, you eradicate the strongest member from the enemy team. And yeah, Rabalus Hunara is now online with 2 items, but Chitan will very, very shortly have access to the Rage Blade as well. Will have 2 upgraded spells, will only be missing the W. And we already saw how dangerous his Kaisa can be.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, I mean, even though Titan is down in gold, he is still a very, very relevant threat because his Kaisa is online. He just needs the angle. He just needs the space. His team they do have the composition to buy Titan that space. Now in the front line, very, very big Scion. The despair, unending despair, and the magic sunfire. Call it
I really like calling it Moonfire.
Moonfire. That sounds good. I like that.
Do you see? Do you see the pet just jump around, like doing lounges from Drake to Rome? I love this.
That's
that's
dragon number 3.
Yeah.
18 minutes in. We're close to 19 minutes in, and we already see Red Cannons on Soul Point, which is not good news for Pain. Red Cannons are speeding up this game tremendously, and they do have somewhat of a scaling composition, but the early game went so well. They're practically in late game right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if Pain does outscale them or scale as well. Yeah, Cho'Gath is very nice. Kaisa is also good, but I don't
and Corky
love
shreds.
Corky's.
You can't forget the Corky shreds.
Yeah, he does shred, but he does fall off as well. He is kind of a mid-range assassin, so it's getting harder and harder for him to play into the Rise, into the Jin Zhao's ultimate, into the Science body blocking. So I really don't like how Corki scales into the late game. Yes, of course, he's still an ADC threat. So if he goes into the crit afterwards, he will have that little bit of extra oomph, but not too much for himself. The thing is, I love the Chemtech Drake for Pain. They have so much HP, like pure HP, so it's gonna be harder and harder
Wait,
for
who
you to
has
kill them.
right cannon?
Sorry, red. Yeah, they have
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
right
pure
cannon.
HP. They also have a lot of shielding, which will give him more effective HP. A lot of shielding. I see the what you call it, the redemption. I see the Sunlit Sky from the Jinzao. Of course, the Unending Despair as well from FNB. It's gonna be so hard for Pain to just execute any single member up to its final HP point, and then you have to do this 4 more times.
Yes, yes, you do. So Painter just fighting against the current right now, even though they do have 280 carries. Neither of them, or at least Kaisa's online, but Corky still needs a few more moments to get his Muramana online as well. His tear's already sacked. He just needs to go to get the full item, Man Immune. Let's see how Pain
Yeah.
defend this tier 2 tower in the bot lane. Those red cannons, they're stacking around this, especially for Otacon. They want this fight so that they can have a clearance for Otacon right now.
I mean, I think the other gun is more or less donated, right? I think that Pain tries to find a sliver of gold for their laners. Like you said, it Romer is so close to the Muramana, so you can have at least the extra damage on your auto attacks. Not even the boots completed. He has the teleport. Nobody goes topside, so maybe they really want to be fighting into that. But can they even win? Even
They're
in
gonna
the
try.
best case scenario, where Curry finds 5 people with a pop blossom, I know that you don't win. That's
Oh,
your tank.
Wiser. Yep,
That's your tank.
Wiser doesn't have a lot of magic resist. He does have the Aegis. He does have the Mercs, but Kaze is way too far ahead right now. In goes the Nature's Grasp. They want to get something. They get FNB right on top. And up with the Rupture. The Otacon is taking its sweet time to go down. Still at 6k HP. Still a big window for Pain to interact. And they definitely want to interact. Karioka and Kuri are in the front line. They don't know which is which right now because no abilities have been sent, but it's been Doom that finally smited the Otacon, but they're a little bit too low. The debuff is still alive, and they want to back off.
Whoa!
Massive Pop Blossom, but where's the follow-up? There's no damage. Doom goes down, or Doom goes on a killing spree with Curry, and Rebello finally takes down Karioka. Romer, however, he has a lot of space. No items, though. Why is there still tanky? FNB might be in trouble. Romer goes into the back, takes down Frosty, takes down Doom. Rebello's next in line as FNB also falls to the hands of Titan, and Pain are back on the menu.
But can they do something with it? You're already lost Tatakan. You collected so many shutdowns, but you need to do more. You need to get all that standing gold on the map, because next time you'll need to fight from a lower ground. Kaze still has flash, Rebello still has flash, but you've spent everything to make this fight happen.
That's good. I mean, they pushed down the mid tower. Mid tower is the hardest tower to push. And Wiser, it didn't look like it, but he does have Demolish. And there was a bounty on the towers. And so that's a lot of gold that's been distributed for Pain.
I really want to see Chitan's damage numbers on this fight, because he was hitting mostly FNB, but he was dealing so much damage. Spent his flash just to be able to keep auto-attacking in this fight. And look at Romer, finds the angle, executes Frosty, gets a kill onto Doom. Rebel, the only one leaving to say the sorry, but FNB kind of saves the day, because even if you take that tier 1, I think if he hasn't held the wave, it could have been at least 2 towers.
Oh, I can read lips, and that was a nasty thing to say, Mr. Man. Regardless, Romer completely ignored... Huh?
I don't know Brazilian or Portuguese, so I don't know what he said.
I'm not going to tell you now.
He said it was a nice play. Let's go, guys.
It was. Let's go, guys. You're actually really close.
Regardless,
Dragon's being done. The smite. Missed the smite into Feast. Feast is still available, though. And in the front line, Pain are really, very tanky. Karioka still trying to stay alive. And so is Titan. So is Romer. But Romer does not have the same space that he had last time. Titan has no mana. And Red Cannon take the Dragon and take the fight as they immediately roll warp straight to the mid lane for the tier 2 and the inhibitor.
Can they do it? I mean, FNB can tank forever. He has the Soul Forge. They have a wave. They have the grabs. It might be game over right now. 25 minutes is all that it takes for Red to come back in the series.
I mean, Curry is alive, and like you said, they do have the grubs, but they don't have the demolish to take down the towers fast enough. In comes Curry to try to at least clear the wave, but the wave is stacking. That's at least 5 caster minions on the back of that one. The Nexus is exposed. Curry is unable to clear the wave. Weiser's coming in a little bit too late. Red cans are not backing off, and it's going to be game. We're going to at least a game 4.
Absolute cinema. The moment that Pain had a sliver of hope return to them, they slap it out of them. Red Canids. What a performance from the blue side this time around. It looked like they cleaned their plate completely and they came in as a new and refreshed team. Now we're back into a best of 3 case scenario, and that's what Red actually shines.
Yeah, no, this is purely a best of 3 now. And, I mean, we were talking about mental booms. We were talking about how this team comes back. This is how. You just give them an easier comp to execute. Even though they were, they made a couple of mistakes here and there. You know, they left Roamer a little bit too much space to shine on that one team fight where he got a double. But the act was cleansed. The act was cleaned up. And Red can secure game number 2. This will lead us to game number 3 and eventually game number 4. Now, both teams are looking good. It did not feel like Pain were faltering too hard. They were just playing with the cards that they were handed to them for the most part.
Yeah, and they only had deuces, I think, in this game, as Red was the dealer, and they had the stacked start cards all over the place.
Man, if you get 4 of a kind, you can still win. That's all I'm saying.
Will they? Because the only team that has actually played TF in LTA South and have won is Red. So I think the deck is fully marked and stacked in their favor. And, you know, favors the ball. Luck favors the ball. So far, Red look like the bolder team. They did finish in under 25 minutes. And at least they're back in the series. Now, Pain has got to clean their slate completely. I've got to come back into game 1 form. The good news for them is that they're going to be having side selection, so it's going to be win-lose, win-lose. In the end, they're going to be the one taking away the best of 5.
Absolutely, but before we go into game number 3, we're going to take a short break because, ladies and gentlemen, this series has only just begun. You have no idea what's coming. Neither do I. Haven't read the script. We'll find out after this short break. And oh boy, do we have a series to tell you about. Man, it's 1-1 right now. Red Cannon somehow got back into that one. And, well, he didn't have a lot to do in game number 2. But we're back. I'm AC. That beautiful man right there is Rev. And we have at least 2 more games to go through before we know who advances on the upper bracket. Rev, what did we just see?
Yep. We saw an absolute slaughter. I'm pretty sure you can't upload this video to YouTube, or at least you have to mark it not safe for kids, because Pain, they felt their own medicine and they were completely, I don't know, unable to do anything. I think they were comatose after a moment in the game. They had to get ahead with their team comp, and you know what they did not do? They did not play the game at all.
No, not at all. I mean, you had Kaze who just did a full 180 on that one. He went from a terrible Oriana game into a actually surprising Rise game, getting really far ahead really early on, and just finding advantages left, right, and center. So kudos to especially Doom as well, who was on top of the objectives and overall just secured a nice little win for Cannon. Now we're 3 games deep. We already have 20 champions out of the table, plus 10 from the champion selects ban.
Yeah.
So we're starting to dig. We're starting to dig deep in the champion pools here.
Yes, now is where actually Fearless gets interesting. Before that, it was just, a slap on the wrist. Right now, it really restricts your choices, and I'm looking forward to see what they do have in their back pockets. 26 champions out before you select your first one is gonna hurt, but you know what I'm looking for? Actually, the 36 champions out before you select your first champion, because then it's gonna be very, very interesting. Honestly, okay, can I have a hot take?
Go for a hot take.
I do not care about Fearless Game 5. I think it's silly.
You're silly. Not a hot take. That's a cold take.
I am silly.
That's a cold take, and we're on game 3 right now. This is the draft. Take a look at it, analyst. Go on.
I am looking at it. I see a Jax out, Aurora out, and the Lucian away from Titan's or Chitan's hand. Wukong, they know you're casting. They don't want to lay the Monkey King out.
Good.
Just the Silas is still in. Red is still on the blue side, so Pain opted to keep on going on the red side.
I guess once you go deep enough into the champion pool, you're like, maybe our follow up ideas are work better on red side, which would make sense. You have free access to dragons, like you said.
Or you should, because every time the blue side team has been getting the dragons. Also, you talked about Doom before. How do you manage to steal a dragon from the hands and mouths of a Maokai with a Q Smite and a Cho'Gath with a fist? How?
Yeah, because the Cho'Gath never gets close enough. But hey, look at that. It's like I predicted what just happened. Game 3, no Cho'Gath, free Yorick top lane. FNB is going to have a great time here.
I mean, if Wiser is Wiser, he'll pick Fiora.
Why would it? Why? Why would you pick Fiora?
You don't want the Fiora? That's fine. Go Darius. Go Garen.
I appreciate that. I mean, we're talking Juggernauts now. I dig Juggernauts. Yeah. I remember you just saying something bad about Juggernauts.
I hate Juggernauts. Yeah.
I hate you!
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Stop it. Stop it.
But there's still a couple of options in the top lane, a few of them more interesting than others. And like you said, I mean, Darius could be an option, but they decide to go for the Renekton, then he's going to have a terrible time up.
I mean, top laners, when they don't know what to pick, they just lizard. But I do not like the Xayah here. I think it's very early to just blind pick a Xayah. I think you're doing it just to remove Doom from the Vi, because that's the prime option for a jungle right now, and you just disable the Vi. You see the season disease, and you're like, haha, feathers fly.
You're also making red candidates think if they want to lock in the Rakan so that they take it away from Pain. That'd make it's a Tabby guy that we just saw cameo in the back. But red candidates don't care. Red candidates go for the Callista, which was somewhat buffed in patch 25.16, which we're on right now. We also see the Renata Glass.
I don't really care about the buff unless you start with the Rage Blade. It's kind of whatever. It's a very strong duo, though, and it bodes very well into the Xayah. The Xayah has an early game chance to kind of win out the first 2-3 level of fights if you manage to find the feathers, but it's always in Callista's hand, and Rabello has shown
Callista?
Come here.
AP Callista, right? That's the thing now, isn't it?
No. Okay, listen. I know. We're both Mediterranean, okay? And we like our spices. We're very close to the LTA South. That we don't need bland food. If anyone's here from the UK, I'm very sorry. You have to eat like that every single day. We eat better, but that's too much spice, even for me, even for Bulbas. And look.
You gotta play into the patch. You have to play into the patch in 26.16, which is the live patch, and the one that LTA South is playing right now has a Callista with a 65% AP rate on her Ren. So I don't make the rules.
Also, 65% is a bad bite ratio.
It's better than what it was. It's like it's a 20% increase, which is a lot.
I mean, a 20% increase, it really depends. Like, if you get a 20% increase on your wage, are you always happy?
I'd be more happy.
I mean, what if you were getting no wage at all, like 50 euros? Would 20% be a good increase for you? It all depends on the
Why
context.
would I be working a job that would give me $50? The heck?
You're Mediterranean.
Listen, I know I'm Mediterranean, but like production said, draft is still happening. Listen, Rev.
Sorry.
Listen, we're not going to be talking about socioeconomic situations here. We're talking about that Galio mid that's just been popping up here with the face off against the Annie right now. And I feel like Pain have a very explosive comp that might fizz out very, very early.
I mean, that opens up more chances. There's a Twist Fate. Yeah, that opens up more chance for more aggressive junglers. I thought it would be the Annie because, yes, the Arisor, because, yes, you can really play into the Xayah, but you can play into the Annie and you can also play into the Rakan. With that, I love the Galio there as well. It bodes very well into the Rakan with the Taunt. And you're... No,
please lock into Nidalee. It's this is fine. I was gonna say please lock in the Lily and give me the full solo queue experience, but Skarner kind of rounds out the composition really, really well. I know the comp is gonna want to be split pushing, and they do have enablers to allow F&B to just AFK split push the whole game. But you know, Pain do have an interesting composition. Do it.
I
Do it. Do it.
Yeah,
Give me the
you
Zyra
can do it.
jungle.
It was the old response to the scanner, and there it is. Zara is gonna be locked in for the jungle, I suppose, for karaoke. Thing is, I'm not too happy with the scanner. Yes, you do have a frontline now. Yes, you can team fight a bit more, but I'm not sure how you do scale. I don't like Kalista into the later game team fights, especially when you have to be dodging out so many things like the T-Burst, the Ruthless Predator from Weiser, the Charm from Curry. All of those things cannot be cleansed all at once. And Frosty will have to play the game of his life to cleanse something with what I expect to be Mikkel's Crucible first item, then play with the second chance and whatnot. But TF is not a traditional carry, right? It's been long gone since the moment that TF
No.
teleported on top of you, blue carded you, and you were eliminated from existence.
No, that's not going to be the case here. I believe Twisted Fate's just going to be in the mid lane, or Kazu's going to be playing Twisted Fate here just to clear waves and just to use Destiny in order to grant vision to FNB. Make sure he's not getting ganked. Make sure he's not getting 2v1, 3v1, and just guaranteeing the safety of the side lanes. That's going to be Twisted Fate's use. Late game, it's just going to be throw cards into the wave, clear out the wave, yellow card a guy once in a blue moon, and just ult whenever you feel like the game is going a little bit too quiet.
I mean, do you build the rapid fire can
Me,
in
no,
this game?
but they probably will.
Hmm.
I mean, it depends.
So
It
that
depends on how on what path you want to go. You could go Rod of Ages, just like you build with Rise. You could just go for a similar build that way, or you could just go aggressive. If you want to go into Sheen, if you want to go into a little bit more attack speed as well, you could. Rapid Fire Cannon is a good item to have on a utility Twisted Fate, just as you would have on a utility Bard. Now, do you want to build it fast? I don't know, but it's up to Kazi to decide as we go into the Summoner's Rift for Game 3 with Red Cannon still in the blue and Pain on the red.
Yeah, anyone winning this map will push the enemy backs against the wall. Suddenly, you will be allowed no more mistakes, no more mishap, and everything will cost so much more, especially mentally, right? And now they're trying to bait Romer into a false sense of security where
Uh-huh.
Frosty, Rabello, and Kaze are looking for the angle, and
They
Domi
are.
just throwing rocks onto the wildlife.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I really, really like the Zyra jungle, especially in this current patch where there's been a massive push for the mages to return to the jungle. Brand, Morgana, Zyra. I guess she still fits the bill here.
Yeah.
And I like that Painter playing into it. Weiser's defending it. Doom has been spotted. Curry doesn't seem to want to play with the squad, and Romer doesn't want to get spotted. Just playing around and clearing out the wave. Red Cannons, they're not going to have free vision like they did last game.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what Payne is doing because they're not really defending it with all of their might. Oh, but now there are no plans for karaoke. He used the Q, and that means that his clear is going to be so much lower in the early game. And Chitan with Corey will leash him, but that also means that they are going to be losing so much pride in the bot lane, especially into a Kalista Renata. That might cost a lot.
Might. The game begins. It does seem pretty standard. We do see a level 1 Frosty going really, really far ahead alongside Rebello. Already leaving Kuri at half HP, forcing him to pop potions under the tower. Kaze with the Twisted Fate, I mean, are we back in season 1? Any TF mid?
Yeah, but I really like the adaptation because Ani doesn't really play with W, for the AoE, wave clear or
Mhm.
stun, doesn't play with the Q just to make sure that you can poke. You play with the E, especially into auto attack, since it gets you that little thorn wheel effect. It really rolls nicely. You get the shield, the enemy gets damage, you also get the movement speed so you can space out the enemy laner. And
Yeah.
Roamer really, really does so. Look at the early game domination in terms of CS.
It's like
But I'm not sure if
it's like you're
TF can.
playing a champion with the highest attack damage range or auto attack range in the game. or second highest attack damage or auto
Well,
attack damage.
is she still? I think she's not anymore.
She
right?
is. She is.
She
At
wasn't.
625, she's just behind Caitlyn.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's Annie for you. 625
Um,
attack damage rate or auto attack range as Caitlyn, whereas Caitlyn is at 650 if I'm not mistaken. Second highest auto attack range.
I mean, I remember when they had the same auto attack range.
I know. Wasn't that crazy having Annie as support just poking people out? It was incredible.
Yeah,
Loved it.
I mean,
loved every single second of it.
She has more than Ash.
I mean,
Yikes.
not hard, considering that they don't have a lot of attack damage range or auto attack range. Titan and Curry not having the best time here in the bot lane. Rebello really putting up pressure here alongside Frosty. I feel like it's more Frosty than Rebello, but he's following up nicely as well.
Yeah, oh, the damage from Romer. Kaze, no more bots. TF really doesn't look that strong right now. Maybe as a gank enabler, but FNB has already flashed.
Oh, that's a flash up on FNB, and without a teleport, or with a teleport, he's not going to be going alive much longer. Karaoke with a successful gank, and now Red Cannons are just diving the spot lane. Rebello dies
Curry.
in the process. That's a 1-for-1. Can he get more out of that? Doom does not take tower aggro. He takes it now with his W. He tries to go for Curry, but he can't find it. That's a lot of time wasted from Red Cannons as well, and we already have the Feats of Warfare.
Yeah, somehow Chitan got the kills. That's the best case scenario. He got both of them.
Yikers.
Whereas for Red, it was Frosty getting the kill. Romer?
It's okay. It's Kaze. He's doing just fine as Frosty walks up to the mid lane as well. Kaze preserves his teleport, and with that trade, I do believe Kaze might want to invest in some sustain. And then, okay, we go for double Ruby. I saw it too. I saw the Null Mandal line. He's a little bit too frisky there. No, he's gonna go for the Rod of Ages build.
No, I'd love the mantle there because you can also go immediately for the mech threats, and the mech threats
FNB.
feel very nicely. FNB will not die. But he
No.
will need to abandon the laning phase very soon, I feel like.
Well, he desperately needs that maiden to stay relevant here in the top lane, but he just can't find the range for it. He needs that level 6, but man, if he's up against Weiser, he's going to get ganked by Carioca, and if he's up against Titan and Kuri, he doesn't have the space to do anything.
Yeah, look at that play.
2 flashes for a
FNB
kill.
panicked and flashed immediately, but it was the first blood as well. It doesn't really matter in terms of gold. Yeah, I get that, but let's look at the play on the bot side, because how did Chitan get both of those kills? Frosty ganks. Oh, he flashed into Frosty very nicely. Didn't get the reset over there, and then Rabello just got an enhanced Tire Auto on his face, losing 2/3 of his HP immediately. That must have hurt.
It did. It absolutely did. That's what you get for tanking a warmed up tower here in the bot lane. You're not meant to dive those. They made sure that you weren't supposed to dive those towers too deeply because they deal a lot of damage in these earlier stages. But Titan getting these plates, that's plate number 2.
Yeah, I love the fact that they're playing like 4 minutes of laning phase and then just lane swapping. I don't think that's a kill, but still a lot of damage onto Kaze.
Nah, double Null Mantle plus double Ruby absolutely dictates that Kaze wants to build utility Twisted Fate. But the problem is, if FNB is being dragged this far back, they won't have a side lane to play for. FNB now getting ganked once again. Another tower dive. Ignite is ticking, but the tower is going to keep him safe. 200 HP, but the dragon falls in favor of Pain. Or in this case, in favor of Red, my bad. Weiser, though, he's going to be forced out of the tier 1 tower as Zoom approaches the top laner of Pain.
He knows that he's on a weak side, but he doesn't really care. His laners are getting more than the enemy laners. The tower is closer to be done. The build from FNB is atrocious right now, so he can't really do anything with it for the moment.
No,
and even if he loses some of that gold, he still gets access to most of the XP. So Weiser is sticking level 6. He is half a level up, whereas FNB will get redived time and time again.
Jesus, he desperately needs that maiden. Where is she at? Carioca coming in with his ult already, and he gets the kill on FNB. That's free plates falling in the hands of Titan, as we do see another dive coming into the bot lane in favor of Red Cannons. But the tower is ramping up. Doom goes bye-bye. Curry and Weiser stay alive to tell the tale once again.
Yeah, and somehow that bot lane tier 1 turret has been the strongest Pain champion, assisting them in one more kill. Weiser gets the kill, he gets the XP, and suddenly top lane doesn't look close at all. Pain have been running away with the game. It's been more than 2.5k in the gold lead, and we're not even 8 minutes in.
But damn it, the thing is, Red Cannons have tried to dive this tower 3 times. If it didn't work the first 2 times, what makes them think it's going to work the 3rd time? They just want to invest so many resources under this tower. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's a desperation play. The wave is not even there. It's cleared from Weiser as well, who realizes that Doom started tanking the tower and
Yeah.
just turns onto him immediately. But they desperately want to be doing something. They're losing and bleeding out so much on the other side of the map.
But they were
Now
getting
they try
so
to do the
much on the
grubs.
objectives. They already got the dragon. They already got or they were getting the grubs. They got one of them stolen. Can he get the second one? Oh, they could just barely. Doom didn't even get the flash out of that one. But here comes Curry, gets a charm on
Ooh.
Doom, and down goes Doom
Oh!
once again. It's a kill in the hands of Titan, and without that massive front line, that tower's a sitting duck for Pain.
Yeah, and Shaitan cleansed the one stun, and the 2 rest of the spells were cleansed immediately from the Feather Storm. Punch the 3rd kill, already has access to the Essence River. That means that mana is not an issue for him. He can be spamming those spells every time that he wishes, he wants to. And look at the Zyra inventory right now. She will reset into a full item, maybe plus a little bit more.
That is going to be hard. That's a very, very big Zyra in the middle of a team fight. That's going to be very disruptive as well. And things are looking up for Pain, even though it does feel like these plays are being forced by Red Cannons, which would indicate that they'd be leading. It's not the case at all. Titan is massive. Carioca is massive. Weiser, he's just a chill guy trying to get something out of this game. He's only sitting on the toppies, but he's doing his game. He's not any further behind from FNB, which is where he wants to be right.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Red are playing a game against the clock, not against any other opponent, because they are really liking. They have no AP damage, right? They do have
Yes, they
quite
do.
a bit of front line.
We talked about it. Rebello got buffed on it. Aha! Kaisa. AP ratios. Call the AP Kaisa. Give me the AP Kaisa. Where's the AP Kaisa?
You mean Kalista?
Kalisa, yeah, one of those.
I mean, Kaisa has some better AP ratios, but I do not buy into the AP Kalista. Not even a hype train. I will not get baited.
Why not?
Or rage bait. I don't know. I don't want to give you the pleasure, Romer.
Oh.
Kaza is so far away from the star, he might need to flash.
You're so cheeky. Kaze, he's not gonna flash anywhere. He doesn't flash. He's getting slapped around by big bad tippers.
Kill.
You got the Catalyst V on. Another stun comes through.
See?
Flashes away then. But that might be a little bit too late now. As Tibbers does reset. Tower's left at a plate and the breath. Romer is going to push that down.
Karaoke is also top. Romer not too much in the mana pool, but he's already finding all those angles onto Kaze, making sure that he can really stay in those lanes.
Yeah.
Kiri helping him on the top side, just making sure that he can shove it in. But I think they want to get away right now. Frost
Doom
is also
wants to
there.
force yet another play, going for Curry, going for Romer. Romer doesn't have any mana. Will the Impale actually get anyone? He does find Curry, but will it be enough to get the kill? Romer says, yeah, you can take him. I'm just going to back away from that one. And Curry is sacrificed for the greater good. Campaign gets something elsewhere, and they're going straight for the dragon.
I mean, was it even worth? You're using 2 very, very important ultimates for a support right now.
Yeah,
Frosty,
you get
however,
what you can, man. You know.
I mean, sure,
desperate times.
Beggars can really be choosers, so I understand that. Hey, there's nothing else on the top of the map, so you won't be getting any answer for the Drake, and Pain still keep a very, very healthy 2,500 gold lead.
They chose to go for the Curry there. I'm sure they're glad they got that one out of the way. Rebel now with 3 players from Pain Gaming right on top of him. He's just going to try to wave clear it out with Rend as well. As Pain decide on their next course of action, which I would assume is the Herald, FNB. 1v1 against Weiser, Maiden in hand as well, means that the trades are going to be very, very good for this FNB. Now with the Sheet as well, feel like the side lanes for Red Cannons might start to change in look here.
Yeah, you're not really looking anymore for extended fights. The Bramble Vest makes sure that they won't go in your favor. So slowly yet surely, FNB will regain control, at least in the 1v1 scenario, because in the team fights, it's way harder to pilot a Yorick than it is to pilot
you can't Yorick.
a Renekton.
You can't team fight on a Yorick. No, it's not. That's not the point of him. Unless you just
I mean-
cage. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, I wanna agree, but I've seen some Chinese top laners really do whatever they want.
Featherstorm going up for Rebello. Rebello goes for the dive. What is he doing? He gets the kill. No, he doesn't. He gets 1 for 1. He was trusting Frosty's E, but he forgot about the tower ram.
I
It's a
mean,
shutdown
you
regardless.
always, yeah, you get that. You get the shutdown. You make sure that Chitan loses some of that XP and gold from the wave, and also you get the free flash. It's an excellent play. If Chitan could have hidden 2 more of those feathers, it would have been a 1 for 0, but he miscalculated over there, and that's excellent for the side of Red, who are keeping this game somewhat competitive.
Somewhat, yeah. Red Cannon still have something to show for here is FNB. Let's test your might here on a 2-man dive under the tower. Weiser does have dominance, but they see Frosty and decide to back away from that one. Dangerous dive here once you start to see the Renata glass on your screen. Romer, he has no idea what's waiting for him. You're steering clear from the brush. But Doom,
teleport.
the yellow card.
He knows.
Big Tibbers up against the wall. He goes. Romer's losing fast HP, but the teleport comes in from Frosty. Curry tries to save his mid laner, not quite getting it. 4 members from Red Cannons are stacking on top to get on the spawn of the Herald, and boy, oh boy, does it work.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, we do have a game, the closest game so far. As a goal, it was closer to 3k, and now it's barely 1 with 2 more kills going to the side of Red. We do have a series, and slowly and surely, Doom finds all the angles.
Oh, big impale. They do find Carioca, and they get the kill. That means Smite is down, and another shutdown falls in the hands of Rebello. Now, Frosty's over the wall, so Rebello should be fine for the time being, as they find a positioning for the Rift's Herald that's just about to spawn.
Yeah, they will collect that very, very important little objective. Will get.
Oh, but this is first brick as well. This is first brick, and it means that they get the feats of strength here. Pain got the 3 kills and the first tower.
But they're losing the Herald, and I'm not sure how much do you value those boots, right? That single upgrade on the tier 1 boots might not be as important now. Romer might be in trouble again.
Romer might be definitely in trouble. Flashes under the tower, but Rebello cares not for the fact that the tower still stands. They keep on promoting these dives. I mean, they're starting to work. That's all I'm saying. They take a lot of damage, but they are starting to work.
Starting, it might be an understatement right now, because look at the difference in the bot lane. It's not there anymore. There's nothing to differentiate those 2 bottom laners, but look at the difference in the mid lane. TF 1300 ahead just because you managed to kill Romer twice and you had some time alone with your extra passive getting 1 to 6 more gold. They are stacking nicely. They will get the tower as well. And although Pain are still in some semblance of control of this game because they managed to secure 1 extra tower for their time, it looks to be slipping away time and time again. I thought here that Romer for sure knew, because he did not use any of his spells, plus the teleport was coming from Curry. But Frosty was slightly faster there because he was teleporting closer. Curry flashing in to his demise as Rebello.
Going. You're absolutely right, but I feel like the thing is, he suspected that somebody would be on top, but I don't think he realized there'd be that many people on top.
Yeah.
The thing is, Red Cannons, through chaos and destruction, they are garnering a lot of gold. They are getting a lot of advantages, and Pain are being left in the dust. However, they still have the scaling on their side. They still have the Zaya, they still have the Rakan. Team fights are still looking bright for Pain if they find their tempo.
They also have the Zyra. It's very, very important. All that zone control with the ultimate, all those extra plants dealing damage for you must feel nice. But Red, we must remember they managed to secure the Rift Herald, so they're playing their cards nicely. They want to keep pushing top side is where TF is. He's building into a Lich Bane as well, I think. If I read the Blasting Wand and the either Wisp correctly, and that will mean that
Perhaps.
he will be pushing those turrets very, very efficiently.
And that's the game plan here for the Red Cannons. You can see that from the York. You can see that from the Twisted Fate. You knew that they wanted to have the side lane control. They were not a team for team fights, not at all. Trinity Force already online as well on FNB. Oh, there it is! It's the Guinsoo's on Robello. Can't wait for the Nash's Tooth.
No way. I think it's like what's gonna be next? An Immortal Shieldbow, something like that. Maybe
Nash,
Bloodthirster.
believe in the
No
patch.
way.
Believe in the patch. Nash's Tooth. Robello next.
I mean,
Actually, you know
wanna...
what? You know what? Hey,
Yeah.
hey! Production. Can we get? Forget about the prediction on the things. Do a prediction on the next item for Rebello. Reminder, ladies and gentlemen at home, we are in patch 2616 or 2516, which means that Callista got AP ratio buffs on her E, which validates AP kind of Callista.
You
But
do have
Rev
25
is
AP
a
right
hater.
now. Okay, you do have 25 AP right now, which will give you an extra, I don't know, 16 damage on your E. If you go the whole Nashor's Tooth, okay, Nashor's Tooth gives you 100 AP, gives you 60 more damage, which is nothing.
It
And
is
also,
so much. It is so
no,
much because you're
no,
landing more autos, you're getting more spears in, and you're getting a massive rend. You're not thinking the big picture, man. You're not seeing it. You're not seeing the vision.
and nobody's building Nashor's Tooth for the AP ratio. Everyone's
You've
building
had
it for
this
the
patch for
passive.
3 days.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, guys, I'm not sure if you know it, but it seems that in Portugal there's new supplies of copium over there. I've been looking for such a
Please.
good.
My country's on fire.
Okay, so Romer, second item, the Realized Crystal Scepter is completed, but I'm mostly looking at Chitan. He is starting to build the Infinity Edge, and that's a huge spike for him,
It is.
especially with the 75% crit chance. But
As a third item, yeah.
Leech Bane completed. If you leave him alone with the tower for a couple of seconds, you leave him alone with no tower.
Yeah, and that's true as well for FNB. He is we keep on missing him, but he is playing the Yorick. We haven't set the camera on him for quite a while, but he's always on the sideline applying pressure. And speaking of the devil,
yeah, not gonna lie, I will be completely honest. I had forgotten there's a Yorick in this game.
There is. He is. Look, the man's been bullied. Okay, FNB has been massively bullied for the earlier stages of the game. He's trying to get his pacing back, but he alone cannot hold on to these objectives. So right now, Pain, they're trying to secure Otacon. This is a dangerous objective because Red Cannons have absolute control of vision on that side of the map, and they know exactly how long it takes to get that objective done. They're back in the fight. They're trying to get the smite. Doom collects the objective. What else is left for them to go on? Romer gets a massive tibbers off the back of that one. FNB turns still and run, and so does Kaze. Frosty's left alone in no man's land, and Pain, even though they lose the objective, they absolutely take the fight.
They take the fight. They can do something more with it? Question mark, because immediately Kaze teleports into the mid lane, starts pushing. Weiser wants to answer, but he misjudges, teleports forward towards the top side. There's nothing for him to do there but push another wave. So what can you do from this fight? The 700 gold lead that you got, I don't think that matters. Atakan has been proven so much more important than that with the extra XP. And once again, somehow Doom finds those angles, ends up dying for it. And the only one playing the fight properly is Kaz, because he's playing the spacing game. He's trying to find the angles for the yellow cards, but the cards, the tarot, are not reading well. It's only the Hangman right now.
You said that the Otacon was worth it. I mean, look at the flowers. Red Cannon's only collected 24 off the back of that one, and that's just 6 flowers, or in this case, almost nearly 10 flowers over Pain, which isn't that much, all things considered. So,
and that's why you always pick up the flowers.
So that's why you always pick up the flowers. Yeah, that's like it's mini cycle. I love picking up the flowers.
Yeah, me too.
I feel so bonita.
That's why I play support, because everyone else like abandons them, and I have something more to click on the map.
I know, that's why I play jungle.
Oh
my god, you want to duel afterwards?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't.
Guys, I wanna file my divorce to AC right now.
Hey,
No.
baby, come on now. We did see Pain going for the dragon. This is a mountain. Soul, Pain already have a mountain dragon of their own, but they're zoning out red cannons completely. They work well on the sidelines. They don't work that well in team fights unless
Romer
Doom
has
gets a
flash.
miracle 3-man impale.
Romer has flash.
And Romer is right behind them. They have no idea. They're getting pincer maneuvered.
They found Titan!
They get Titan. That is massive. A lot of damage has just been lost by Pain, but that is not going to stop them from trying to go for the fight. Rebello, massive rend on Romer. That's 2 down. Rebello's still alive. Gets a double kill. Look at the man hop, skipping and jumping as he goes through the ranks of Pain. That's a 3rd one. FNB nabs the kill, but at the end of the day, it's 3 kills for Red Cannons, but it is Dragon for Pain.
It is Dragon for Pain. Will it matter though? You can get 2 towers right now. A second wave is coming, and look at that Twisted Fate damage. Has the RFC as well. So now the Lich Bane goes brrr. Just a single card can bring distraction. Karaoke is still alive, has a semblance of wave clip. But how do you catch Titan there? No cleanse, no Mikkel's Crucible, and the ultimate was never used. Somehow Doom makes the hero play.
Yep, he just walks up, impales Titan, and walks away with him. Yeah, nothing to do there from Pain. He dies with all summoners up. Very, very unfortunate move there from Pain, which puts them behind 2.1k. As we do take a look at the replay, Titan's right in the front. Oh, the gold card! I missed that.
Gold card into instantly snapping Doom. Zero hesitation, and also Rebello. Look at the team fight. Kills the Annie, then dies and gets 1 more kill to revive himself onto the enemy support. Doesn't die ever again. An excellent fight from the marksman from red side. He might be struggling some laning phases, but then his team fighting is chef's kiss.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the power of the Skarner, honestly, even though realistically, Red Cannon's team composition is not made for team fights. They are somehow making it work, and let's see how they do on the split push. FNB assigned to bot lane, and right now we're still waiting to see where Kazi's going to go. But the Baron is live right now.
Yeah, it's not really a team fight. It's a pick into a fight, I think. But I see. Yeah, please do not look there. Like you've been embarrassed.
Listen, you can still go for the Nash's Tooth.
What
still
if he
got
just
2 more item slots?
What if he just goes dig up into Bloodletter's Curse?
Why would it? I'd be okay with that.
Of course you would.
No. Listen, you give me some. You give me ingredients, I'll let him cook. You know, I'm fine with the. I'm fine with the Bloodletters there.
I am not. It's so
weird.
It's a word that I don't want to use in a broadcast, but it is that.
Mm-hmm.
It is asterisk, I want to say. So yeah.
Risk.
Yeah. So looking at Rakan has invested into the upgrading markets. That means that any other cleanse item will be so delayed. But Chitan has the cleanse, has the ultimate, has the flash. So 1 golden card will not be the end of all, but he has to be always ready to press on that very, very important summoner. Anytime he will miscalculate it, he will be napped. You can cleanse from the ultimate of Skarner. It is a suppression. It's going to be harder and harder for you to fight. 3 items for Kalista, 3.5 items for Kaza. He's 2,600 gold ahead.
He is, and that's a Repify. Oh, wow, you call it a Repify cannon. I didn't believe it, but there it is. He's going utility Twisted Fate. That's all he's doing. He's side pushing and yellow carding people. That's Twisted Fate's role for this game. And allowing Vision with his destiny for FNB safe passage into the tier 2 towers. Now, Baron is at play. No Vision from Pain's side on that objective. They cannot afford to go in, or else they will immediately get bursted down.
Doesn't know yellow card. He's waiting for the cooldown, and he will be threatening once again. Karaoke can't even get into the pit.
Wow, the big Ren coming through as well. Rebello absolutely secures that. They try to go for a follow-up fight. That's a big impale on 2 members. Weiser is absolutely locked in, but they don't die yet. FNB takes down Curry, but they trade for Doom. Can they get something else? Maiden is dead. FNB is very, very vulnerable. Featherstorm coming through. That's a big kill. Titan is going wild. Rebello's in trouble. Count a triple kill on that one. one, make it a quadra. No. Can they get the penta? Kaze is turning tail and running, but they will absolutely take him down. They get the vision. Penta. They get the stun. They get the ace. Painter back, but they don't have Baron.
Look at Chitan just flaming his top laner who stole the quadra. He stood up! He stood up to flame his top laner. Oh my goodness, the Baron's gone, the goalie doesn't matter, and he gets his fourth item, 100% critical chance, and 100% he will carry those fights when he gets given the tools. Chitan is an absolute beast.
Would you say he's item, perhaps? In this game in particular? He's doing pretty well. I'd say he's pretty right now. Yeah. The Dragon's being done. That's Soul with 3 mountains.
He could be a Titan because every time that they meet Gam in an international, he gets slayed by Levi. So look at Chitan over here. Like, he doesn't really care. He gets blocked. He finds the angle, just keep out attacking. Flash over the wall to keep the fight going.
No, it's
and
Wiser.
The fourth, look at the fourth. Yeah,
that's nice. Wiser.
Look,
Wiser just snapped the
He's standing up.
He immediately goes over to the top lane. Yeah. He's angry. Oh man, the last one didn't really matter.
Yeah, so somewhere around here, he realizes that it's not his penta, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing, man?"
The penta was his though. Yeah, I have to give it to him. The penta was his though. But hey, now we're back in the fight. We do see Wiser already pulling out the dominance. Yellow card getting immediately cleansed out by Wiser, as he does have a Quicksilver Sash.
Oh my god, I haven't seen this item in so long, honestly.
Same, I thought they deleted it, actually. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but maybe they should. So that crowd control matters. Now, Corey finds the angle onto Doom. Do they want to engage? There's still
get the stun on Doom. If they take him out, that's a frontliner down for Red Canids. They can't.
Look at FNB. Look at FNB. He's alone.
Listen, I'm looking at FNB. I don't think Paynar, though. He's just doing Yorick things. He's getting the Impale off Doom. He's in trouble, misses the Impale. This could be a fight for Pain, and this could be turning into a base race. Big root on Frosty. Kazi's in trouble. Yellow card goes on top of Carioca, and he's managed to turn away and run. But still, he's the last man standing, facing down on 4 players on Pain.
I mean, was it worth? You're getting an inhibitor over 3 actually kills. What can you do with the kills? That's the question right now, because if you're just allowing time to pass, FNB has created a pressure point. He can now swap them up around, play for the Baron. He spawns earlier than the Elder, and you can try and pressure bot side once again. If you don't die on the Baron, then it should be fine. Otherwise,
you don't die on Baron, if you don't choke on the smite either, but the fact is the top lane is wide open. As we take a look at the replay here, this was a 4v4 fight that, Red just got absolutely bodied here.
Yeah, they did, but once again, I'm tracking the summoners used, because Kalista, no flash, used the cleanse for some reason, not sure why. Frosty has the flash as well. Kaze has flash plus an extra summoner, and Doom, of course, he flashed a little bit earlier, but the rest of them still have their flashes. And I'm looking at Curry. There's nothing to get him in the fight immediately. Romer as well has the Zonias, but no flash for the snap engage.
But that's the thing. Red Canids can't afford to be in team fights. The thing about the Red Canids composition is that they thrive in split pushing, just like we saw FNB. The fact that Red Canids wanted to body block that fight face first, they can just kite it out. You have Kaze with the rapid fire. You have Kaze with the Sheen. You can kite out fights. You can prolong their duration. Doom cannot afford to just be in the front line like this, because that is what Pain want them to do.
Yeah, but he is the front line. That's the big thing over there. But he can't really survive for long. But he needs to be there. He needs to be creating space for the Kalista. He needs to be creating space for FNB, or at least time for FNB to keep on pushing on the side lane if he never wants to connect for the rest of the fight. And he needs to be the follow-up, I want to say, engage on any golden card that Kaze can find on the enemy backline. Is it Romer? It's fine. Is it Chitan? You have to be wary of the cleanse, but if the cleanse is used, then it's an excellent opportunity, and he keeps on looking. No Destiny used so far, but he knows.
No. Also, QSS already. I don't know if you talked about Titan already has a QSS in his inventory as well, but apart from the cleanse. So he's got a double way, two ways of actually clearing out CC in case he gets caught off by the Red
Yeah.
Canids.
Also,
So he
very
can actually afford the
soon,
front line now.
yeah, he very soon he's gonna have three because I'm seeing Curry building towards Mikhail's Crucible, and that's gonna be actually the end all, I think, for Red. So Red are now playing their backs against the clock. They hear the tick, they hear the talk, and they know that they have to find the angle. They have to actually force
Oh,
Pain to overextend. Oh, that's a Crucible used on Tomb.
that's a Crucible used on Doom really, really early on. Means that Doom needs a miracle catcher with the Impale to actually be able to do something on this fight, or else Red Canids going to roll over and die here. Because the Baron is getting started off by Pain. You do see FNB in the bot lane. He's going to teleport into this fight as well.
Two teleports. Look at Kaze.
Yellow card on the back. Yellow card in the back means Titan has to cleanse that one. He's already used one of his two big utilities. Doom is dead means no smite for the rest of this fight. Red Canids are in trouble. Roamer's still alive, and that's a massive redemption coming through. Weiser looks like a pincushion. Ren does not apply any damage whatsoever yet, but Rebello is forced to turn tail and run alongside Frosty, which leaves the Baron wide open for the Red Canids to take it home with them. Or the Pain, actually. I messed it up.
Karaoke comes there, but FNB tries to push the top lane or at least keep on some pressure. The mid lane has been nullified so far, and the next Drake comes in 28 seconds. And what a Drake that is! Do you try and bait Pain into going for the Drake and you try to split push somehow with the Twisted Fate and the Yorick? Or do you try and fight, set up a standing line and say, either we die here or we come out victorious?
Well, let's see what happens. Red Canids walking on their last legs here. Rebella with the Jack Show the Protean completed in his inventory. Gives him a little bit more survivability in the team fights, but will it be enough? Because Pain are dishing out damage. Karaoke does get the smite down. Frosty cannot steal it away from Pain. And that is an Elder Dragon to close out the last nail in the coffin for the Red Canids here on Game 3.
That was so close. Frosty could have been the unsung hero over there. Ends up leaving, but there's another ultimate use, and I think it's just a matter of time, but they catch out Roamer.
FNB and Kaze, the split pushers are getting together to try to take this down. Tibbers nearly takes down Kaze in the process alongside the Elder Dragon. Now, Doom is having trouble alongside Rebellion and Frosty to steer clear the way from the spot side. It's way too chunky. It's way too heavy. Rebello does not have the wave clear. Neither does Doom, neither does Frosty. They just have to walk or watch as Pain absolutely march into the base of the Red Canids. Nobody coming back. Doom gets knocked up, and so does Frosty with a double kill for Titan. Triple kill gets nabbed away by none other than Karaoke. Quadra doesn't connect as the stasis comes through. It's Roamer who collects it. But ultimately, it is Pain Gaming who rise to the top in game number 3 and take Red Canids to match point.
Oh, Chetan, what an absolute monster you've been. Only once they managed to kill him, and that was the fight that almost gave them the win. At almost being the key phrase over here. Pain are showing that they're not to be scoffed at. They're not the easy pushover enemy, and they're here to take it home, and by it I mean the upper break.
This is unexpected. None of us in the podcast expected this close of a fight. I mean, Pain look good. Pain look absolutely good. They're punishing mistakes. Red Canada are making a ton of mistakes. They have good ideas, but they just can't translate it. Is it the patch shift? Is it the AP in the jungle coming back? What is going on, Rev? It's 2-1. Pain are in match point, and it doesn't feel like we're this deep into the series. It does not feel like the Red Canids can come back from this.
I mean, I think that Pain managed to gather their pieces and make at least some part of the puzzle, because they are a different team. They're not stumbling left, right, and center. And if we ignore Game 2, because Game 2 gave us a glimpse of the pick and play or whatever the first phase was called of the Split 3, the rest of the games they're completely different. Even in this game where they started losing control, they gave away so many stuff back to Red, didn't matter because they never abandoned the game. They still had a fighting chance, and they had a plan. And that cohesion is what brings them a step over the Red Canic.
Exactly, and we'll have to wait and see if game number 4 is going to be the last game in this best of 5 series, or will Red Canids have something to say? But we're going to have to wait a little bit before we head into draft. But we'll be right back with you for the next game on this amazing series.
To hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies. The champions of the world that we defy. A solo ride of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light.
dare you? My mouth is still full from that last game, ladies and gentlemen. That was a feast for the eyes. And Red Cannons are match point, or not Red Cannons, they're being match pointed by the Pain team. And let me tell you, what a series it's being so far. It is League of Legends at...
It's big? Maybe?
I wouldn't say so. But hey, I'm AC for those who just joined us. This guy right next to me is Rev. We're the funny team, apparently. That's our designation right now. And Rev, we just had 3 games where Red Cannons are slowly starting to see their mental go boom. And on game 4, I mean, difference. We're already 30 champions down to the drain here. And looking
36.
for Red Cannons coming up to game 4 here.
Let's say 36. And honestly, draft-wise, things might go might be very, very rough. We had some differences in the green room. I said that my point of view was that like there's nothing for you to do with a team fight as the game will go later on. So that's why they were trying to force. You had some different opinions. I think it's a very, very long discussion, to be honest. So anything we can say right now is going to be very short and it's not going to do us justice. But the thing is, what's your game plan from this point onward? Okay, as Red. Because you've already managed to clean the slate once. I think it can happen again. I don't think it's a certain 3-1 angle for the side of Pain Gaming. But I don't think that you need to force early 100%. So far, you've done it. 2 out of 3 games, you had an entry later in the game. The third one, I feel like you hadn't, especially in teamfights. And since the game is so teamfight oriented nowadays, the tanks in the teamfight are so important. We see everyone just blinding tanks in the top lane. Renekton, Sion, Own, you name it. Find something to teamfight. Rabello has been teamfighting wonderfully, even from very, very awkward positions. So I feel like you could go for that angle. Go for the Zeri, go for the Smolder.
I mean, or just go for what the patch demands you to go. You know, get the Rek'Sai. Get the Rek'Sai out. Rek'Sai is strong enough to be fielded right now. Do the players have the players train her? Beats me. I don't know, but she falls in line with the early aggression that Red Cannons are looking for. We want the Rek'Sai. We want the Rek'Sai. I want the Rek'Sai. We still have the Jarvan to go through. We still have a couple of champions to burn through. But after this draft, 40 champions will have been eliminated. 50 if you include the bans here. But it is going to be a tough draft because a lot of the major priority combos have already been taken out. Rel has seen the bans here on Pain side, who are back on the blue with red on the red.
Yeah, let's see what's going to be the angle here. Silas has seen it a little bit of priority going towards the second side. TF has been left open, so now it's out completely. Wukong and Gwen will not see the light of day as it seems. And there is a Silas man as well. So what are you going to first pick? Something with a great ultimate or something that can be outscaled? The Azir is out, the Orianna is out. Well, what's left in the mid lane? I think you're mostly afraid of the mid lane.
Victor is available. He's still an option. He's still a scaling mid laner as well. Syndra is also a very, very powerful option here. I don't think mid lane is a problem inherently. I feel like the jungle pool will be the most affected in the middle of all this since we already burned through a Zyra. I mean, burning through Zyra, I don't feel like that's a fair assessment, as Zyra was very, very valuable to play up against the Skarner. But it is going to be an interesting draft as Pain do have the first pick. It's Weiser who is going to lock it in for the squad. Will they go for the mid laner pick like you were saying, or will they prioritize a jungle here to try to get something out of the objectives? The Vi, we were talking about the Vi last game.
So now Red has a dilemma in their hand. Do you want to split the Vi Ahri combo and maybe play it with something different? The Wukong is out, and that's usually answer because, you know, you can still knock everyone up. The charms are easy to play, and you still play kind of a dive comb. Or do you go for a different answer, maybe a more defensive one? Get Doom on a more utility pick. The Sejuani is still open. Yes, you don't play as aggressively as the Vi. I hate that. Okay, me personally, I hate that. I know that Rabello might skill diff everyone. He knows when to dash in. He's a way better player than I am, or even than I am an analyst. But you're placing such a high skill burden on yourself, right? Because you're not playing range, you're not playing safe, you're playing into Karaoke's hands, and you're kind of teasing him. Hey, can you catch me out of position? on a champion that always wants to dash forward to deal damage.
The Aurora, that's the bait working right now. They have a very, very flexible team for the early game, and that is going to put a spanner in the works here for Carioca, who is going to have a hard time deciding who he wants to go for, especially if we see the Nami on the Lucian support here as well, for the bot lane as well. One would expect to see at this point in time is early game compositions require that pressure. Senna getting locked in here. Pain want to take it to the distance.
There's gonna be some pillow talk over there. Senna versus the Lucian, and Senna has swapped to the ADC position once again. You're gonna be having trouble in the early game. Lucian is way more aggressive, way more damage there, but you're gonna be outscaling heavily. And so far, Pain likes it when the game slows down. They don't really care about ending in 25 minutes. They don't care about ending in 40. All they care is seeing that victory screen at the end of the game. So now they do have the late game insurance as well.
I do see a brand hover. Look at the screen. I see a brand hover from Kuri. We could see a brand in the mid lane. Could that be a thing? He did get some interesting buffs coming through, but Red Cannons lock in the Leona for the Lucian. It's not the Nami you're expecting to see, but it also procs some autos if the Leona does land her abilities.
Okay,
and against the Nautilus, you're bound to.
Can I cook?
Cook a little.
Okay.
If you see a Leona top, I'll shut you up immediately.
No. If it's Brand, how about Brand in the bot lane?
Brand bot? Where'd you put Nautilus? Jungle?
No. Wasn't Brand hovered by Frosty?
No, it was hovered by Kuri, I believe.
Never mind then. If it's Brand, then it's gonna be mid lane. Red could actually flex Brand into the bot lane. It's very nice with the Leona, because if you stun somebody, you stun lock him forever. He gets a Brand passive, he dies immediately, or at least gets out of lane immediately. And then you can kind of swap Lucian in the mid lane. And yes, he's still that very, very oppressive kind of AD mage, because you play with the abilities and you want to dash forward and you make yourself vulnerable to ganks, especially from a buy. But if the enemy laner hasn't got HP to follow up on the gank, you don't really care.
I mean, that would be true. If we get to see that in the second rotation of bans here, we do see a lot of pressure in the top lane. Camille getting taken out. Jax already still in the bans here since game 1, if I'm not mistaken. Cassante as well, probably being followed up by the Yone. So top lane has a very, very limited pool at this point in time. You're gonna have to get creative to see something worthwhile.
No way. No way. I mean, I see him still looking at jungle picks. The Nidalee looks better, but if you look in the Nidalee, Lucian mid looks more and more like the case, and you still need something for a lot of crowd control. Yeah, we're getting spoiled.
Okay, yeah, we are getting spoiled. It's just a couple of seconds, but the Mundo does get locked in for the Red Cannons. It's a blind Mundo. It still could go into the jungle, so I like the flexibility here from Red Cannons.
Okay. Do you hear the howls over here?
The howls of the Warwick?
Yeah.
Do you feel the Warwick? I don't know. The
more
I look into
Mundo, it's the worst matchup a Mundo could have.
Yes. Well, I mean, Taliyah mid. Let's talk about Taliyah mid. Taliyah mid is a massive contributor.
I really love it. I really love it together with the
that's a free lane for Aatrox. Yeah, I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah, I love the Taliyah. It pairs very well with the Vi. You're kind of controlling side lane way more than you would with an Ahri, because you are closing out space, right? And if the enemy flash over your wall, it's already a win where you don't have to commit. Whereas with the Ahri, you kind of have to commit and go all in, right? Which it could be awkward at sometimes. Is it a Mundo jungle?
Like I said, Mundo is still flexible.
It's a Lucian top! Lucian mid.
It's Lucian mid, Aurora top with the Mundo jungle.
Oh my goodness, I called Lucian mid, but I wouldn't have expected a double ADC team comp, and Misfortune is very nice in the Senna early in the game. She must be so careful. You know, the Nautilus Leona matchup was always favored for the Leona until at least... Yeah, sorry?
No, I was going to say Red Cannons just absolutely gave mid away for Pain. How does a Lucian play into a Taliyah? You can't.
early game very easily. Talia has 0 damage until she gets level 7 or level 9.
No matter. Unraveled Earth just stuns Lucian in place. He can't dash on top of the Unraveled Earth, and it's a large area for Kaze to not be able to play League of Legends on. You know.
I mean, it's also a very slow spell area, right? Because if the Lucian has control of where the skill restarts, you just dash in, then you get Unraveled Earth, and then you just dodge the W, the trade ends, and you've won the trade. You don't have to go all in from the first time. You just have to chip away Roamer slowly yet surely.
Right. That's going to be the draft for game number 4. I feel like the 3-1 is starting to slowly but surely materialize here for the Pain Gaming squad. Even though it was a tough early game, but it's an early game that they were able to ride the momentum, and they could still be riding that momentum going into game 4. I just fell in love, and we are ready for game number 4. We're ready to go into the Summoner's Rift. The crowd is ready. I feel like the teams are waiting for a game 5, but Pain have other ideas, Rev.
Yeah, and in the LTA South channel, I see the chat ready as well. The bets are going on. The Gamba is there.
Oh, I forgot to do my thing.
It's almost 50-50, by the way.
50-50.
So
I'll make it 50-50. Don't worry. I want to make some. You know? I've been right all this time so far.
Yeah.
No. All the predictions I've made in chat have come true.
AC, could you look at the summoners from red side, by the way?
Look at the summoners from red side. We have the Smite in the jungle, so that's not too bad.
Look at the mid lane. Like, take a young letter.
Kaze with the teleport?
Yeah. Where's the teleport?
Use it.
Level 1 teleport. Welcome to the LTA South 1-0. We have another banger match in front of us. Kaze has no option but to trade well and lane even better, because if he does blunder, he has no quick way back into laning. He's going to be bleeding out resources.
So why did that happen again? I want to see the replay on that. I don't know if Roamer has that information, but that is valuable information. You bully out Kaze early game.
I mean, even okay. Let's see. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get to lane very fast. Look at this.
He teleported to tier 2!
Oh my god, not even tier 3!
Teleported to tier 2!
The teleport is so slow, level 1 as well. On the other side, Frosty losing one of the pots. Somehow he got out traded and he goes back in Curry. Nice one.
Okay, red cannons are absolutely putting pressure in the spot lane, as you should. I mean, it is a Senna. Needs to scale. Early game, she don't do much. Curry is playing Nautilus, so that's still something that you need to be aware of. You still need to respect the fact that the man with the anchor do a lot of bad things to you if you get out of position. Frosty is getting himself into a position where he wants to get dragged in. Drag him on top of Titan. That's not good.
Yeah, let's see. The wave priority belongs to red right now. Oh,
big
my god,
Corey! What is that? Threaded the needle with the anchor shot on Rebello. And that is a lineup shot for Titan as well. That is massive for Pain.
Yeah, the barrier is gone already. Kaze looking for the angle, but Roamer somehow level 3 first.
Alright, so the thing is, the fact that Kaze teleported to tier 2 means that Roamer might not have the full information on the whereabouts of the teleport. Now, this is the problem with playing Lucian into the Talia.
Let's see if he finds the angle, because I'm pretty sure he slightly outranges, at least with the spells early on. Talia has a little bit of trouble, but Kaze has to be threading those Qs. The piercing lights must connect even through the minions, because you don't have anyone else to buff you. You're not playing with the Braum, you're not playing with the Nami. It's only you and yourself, so the build path must be different as well. There's no lethality, there's no electrocute. You're just going for the old Urf Lucian. So Essence River into the
Give me Trinity Force solution. That's all I'm saying. Early release Lucian on the Trinity Force. Give me some of that. I want to see that. Kaze really, really low. Roamer can afford to go back because he does have teleport advantage. Kaze dashes in, knows that Roamer doesn't have enough mana on the table. Hurry. Heal goes down. A root on top of Frosty. Frosty going straight for the dive here as the Ignite is ticking on Curry, but Titan is going to keep him safe for the time being.
Doom Wants to find Karaoke, I'm not sure. Oh,
Oh,
he gets
finds
hit with a
him.
briefcase. Just
Yep. Mundo
exits
files.
the lane. What does he
And
file?
from a nice little deduction moment there where he looks through every bush, knows that the ward's over the wall as well, sees that the cams aren't there, means that he's probably trying to recall in the tri-bush if he's nowhere else in the map.
I really like the fact that he just hits him with the briefcase, and then he's like, okay, I'm out of here. Nothing else to do. I don't really care. Somehow, the mid laners have traded so far, and now is where Kaze actually has the advantage. His C is so low.
His
in mana
teleport's
needs.
almost back, so this tells me that Romer didn't have the information of that early teleport from Kaze. Or else
maybe
Romer
that's
would
why
have gone
Core is
back and
here.
teleported in already.
Maybe they don't really care that it's gonna. You also need to teleport when you actually have a spike, right? If you teleport back to 300 gold, it doesn't really matter if you have the teleport advantage just for a sapphire crystal. So there's always those mental games. You don't always can get any advantage from those. But now he teleports
Boots
back.
here,
This,
Boots here, and the Dark Seal.
Dark Seal.
Interesting
I mean,
purchase from Romer. And Kaze is already back with the TP. He doesn't have to use it. But he should be having it in the upcoming seconds.
I mean, playing
Will
with
preserve
the
his TP for the time being.
home guards as well, so he's fine. He's not too late. Going to be losing a couple of CS. Romer, very very slow on the push. Just try to deny every single drop of XP.
Of course, and for that level 6 is going to be coming in a little bit later for Kaze, which isn't the most ideal scenario to be, and you already want to be ahead as far as you can with the Lucian playing early game. Staying behind in levels is not where you want to be. Titan just misses the Zenith Blade. That's a big double up from Rebello on Titan here, even though he does heal up.
Yeah, he will heal up slowly yet surely. Let's not forget that Q heal doesn't scale with lethality and anything like that anymore. It only scales with AP. Wiser.
World Ender.
Hello.
From Wiser. In goes the from the other world. FNB gets dragged back by the chains, but Wiser decides against going for the frag there. FNB taking the short end of the stick on that trade with the Aatrox.
I mean, that looked weird. Pretty sure he was out of there, but that's why you get Lucian into the Leia. That dash was excellent. Until the Unraveled Earth does expand, you do have enough time to just dash sideways and start dishing out double bullets. Now, the flash for flash would, I think, be better for FNB, because then he could have played the range matchup without the melee having flash. It's always weird. Now Doom level 6 wants to play for the Scuttle has the smite, but has no priority from his top laner, so decides against it.
Yeah, Carioca does reach level, or does not reach level 6, so Doom is ahead by quite a bit here against Carioca. We're still waiting, or still looking for a cease and desist. His ultimate, his team fight difference making ultimate. See if he can get something out of that. It was, you see a shaky ground coming through. Frosty clearing out the way, or clearing out vision here, making sure that Pain play blind in the spot lane. Still waiting for Titan to come online as you would expect, but the pickaxe is already in Titan's favor. Gives him a nice little power boost here in terms of damage output.
Yeah, 22 souls as well. Very, very nice to have
Not
early
bad,
on
not
the first extra range, the first extra crate.
Mm-hmm.
Feels very, very nicely. I've seen a lot of AD Senas struggle to collect all those souls.
This feels good for Wiser, though. If Doom decides to walk in through lane to try to go for a gank, Wiser is really, really close to the World Ender. But Doom decides against the gank and just goes straight back. FNB keeping his distance. Aatrox will be punishing any misstep from FNB.
Yeah, I think he was there mostly for security for FNB, trying to make sure that he's not getting ganked by Karaoke. Somewhere around there is the timer where he could use his ultimate. Karaoke just power farming so far, wants to complete the first item. I expect it to be the Sundered Sky from the Tunneler.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, Doom also wants to keep power farming. The fact that they're donating him all those neutrals feels almost illegal.
Talk is talked. If Pain wins, my boyfriend will sleep on the couch tonight, said the tweet. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, I give you an extra. Get an extra pillow. The knees have to be bent so that your back is straight.
Listen, buddy. If Pain win, at least not everything is, You'll still get that big dub. You sleep on the couch, but you get the dub. You can't win them all, you know.
Yeah, what do you want? You want to sleep on the bed, or you want Chitan to get a pentakill? Like, you have to.
To get a pentakill. You know, it's for the
Yeah,
showmanship.
pick your fights. You can win them all.
Frosty
Ryuko's going top lane
on the red side. Ryuko's looking for the top lane. I don't think it's a good gank here on FNB on the Aurora. Though FNB is using a lot of mana to stay at bay from Wiser, so timing could be good. Just waiting for the Scuttle Crab, re-engaging in the top lane.
Yeah, however, I think that timing might be slowly coming to an end, at least in the jungle department, as Mundo is creeping towards that Heartsteel. And that's when he starts spiking, right? Vi shouldn't have enough damage, especially so early on, to deal with him. And who deals with him?
Between worlds now, World Ender as well has been activated. Wiser is not looking for a fight as Frosty's walking up to the top lane. Solar Flare getting flashed out, and Wiser's going to walk away from that one.
Yep, he waited for the flash to see where the Solar Flare was, make sure that he can dodge it, spends the flash. A very, very wise choice from Wiser. So, you know, the name is kind of accurate over there. Now, Chitan might be in trouble. Just wave clears as much as he can from as far away as he can. Will go back. Tries to complete that static shift to start becoming online, start dealing with those pesky waves as soon as possible, and be as interactive as uninteractive, as possible with Rabello early in the game.
I mean, you're as interactive as you can get. This is the first game in this series where we're 10 minutes in and not a single drop of blood has been shed yet on the Summoner's Drift. Dragons have been slain, grubs have been collected, red cannons are ramping up into a nice, healthy mid-game, but so far Pain are still to be seen on the Rift yet. Oh, Kaze. Yeah, we're getting to the point where Kaze can't play League of Legends anymore. Not against Romer.
Yeah. I mean, I told you, it's the level 7 and level 9 spike, right? From Romer, when you get level 4, level 5 on your Q, suddenly the cooldown is so much lower. You can deal with the waves. Lucian, you know, he has a lot of things. Wave Clear is not one of them. And so you know that you can keep pressing on, deal with the wave, then you start hitting the Lucian. It's like you're playing Caitlyn with a range support into an ADC with less. You just deal with the wave, and the moment they start hitting the wave, trying to clear under the turret, you make sure you dish out some spells, some auto attack on top of them.
In the meantime, the second Dragon of the Rift has spawned in. Let's see if Red Cannons can collect their first feat of strength here, or if they're going to allow Pain to do something about this. Effective Cleavers do a lot of damage as they do percent max health here. So Doom is keeping Kuri at bay, and FNB seems to have been caught off. Big, massive Darkened Blade. 3 are on FNB, means that he's low and is going to have to go back to base as the mana is also taking blank.
I mean, he was still calm as a clam. The flash was still available, the ultimate pretty soon online as well, so he knew that there was no way that Wiser could have killed him, at least not on his own. He expected Karaoke to be on the other side of the map, who was there, just spotted by that wave, trying to make a play around the Drake so that they can have the first move over there. However, Wiser wins, I think, a couple of plays over here, and that's huge because the moment you complete the Thunder Sky, suddenly you get so much more healing, you get that extra crit together with your passive, you can stay alive for so much longer and execute people who do not expect that kind of damage coming from you.
But the Dragon falls in favor of Pain here. Is this a sign that Red Cannons are starting to lose steam on this game?
Not sure. I'm not even sure if they want to be making plays. They had some early plays, right? They got the crabs. They got the first Drake, which they shouldn't have.
A dive on Wiser. Hold up. World Ender is available. He's waiting for the timing. World Ender has been activated. FNB is the first one in line to dive this one out. Frosty is the one taking the tower, and it's a reset for Wiser, but he can't get any more on that one as the Ignite forces him back. But the dive is massively overstated here. Bullet time on Curry. FNB takes the kill. It turns into a 1-for-2. And Red Cannons, they're not too disappointed on that one until Romer walks up. And it seems trouble for Doom. He tries to heal up, but he's at 200 HP. One more stone to the face should count you out for the time. Kaze gets the kill, walks up on Romer, and walks out with 300 gold.
Oh my goodness, Kaze finds the angle as well. The damage just enough for him to flash out and gets an extra kill. The dive looked awful until they turned it around. Kill after kill after kill, and Red secure the Fit of Warfare for themselves. Let's look at the replay because Weiser plays it patiently, pops the wall ender, tries to clear the wave, but Frosty also sacrifices himself, make sure that the ult is wide, but only in case that he could dash away. And I thought it's over. Yeah, I thought it's over.
Never landed. The hook. I mean, listen, the depth charge knocking everyone up under the tower, that was massive. The hook never landed, man. That was a lie.
I mean, it did. Nautilus is a lie himself. Now, I thought that it's still over. You could get a second kill here, but Kaze, he knows his limits. That kill was absolute perfection.
It was. Essence Reaver already in pocket means that Lucian has his first big power spike and probably... I don't want to jinx it, but I risk saying one of the few power spikes we're actually going to see from Lucian, because from here on out, I mean, he's on a timer. As a champion, he is on a timer, and he's only got 10 more minutes left to play the game.
Let's see if he can make the most of those minutes, or if he can do just enough for the Moon to take over, for the Aurora to take over, because she is also a powerhouse right now. Playing with the mask, however, that means that she has a little bit less damage that I've been used to lately. I've been seeing, that Luden's companion just press QE and nuke somebody damage.
When you're against an Aatrox, I feel like you need all the shred that you can get. Weiser is keeping FNB in check super, super hard. With a champion, you're not supposed to be able to keep an Aurora in check. Just get poked out. Or Aatrox has no way to get near the enemy objectives, right? Allegedly.
Shouldn't. Ooh. Ryoki tries to find the angle. Frosty. Not loose. Yes, way home.
In Reveled Earth, they do have the control of the vision. So right now, Red Canids, they do try to go for the feat strength here that will allow them to have the upgraded boots. Pain, they want to contest this. Weiser's right around the corner as well, trying to pincer them in. Doom might be in trouble, losing a lot of HP as Titan tries to keep the rest of the squad nice and secluded here along the river. Karyoka starts the Herald once again.
It's a game of patience. It's a game of chicken right now. It's who makes the first move and who gets pincered. Rebello tries to find the angle, tries to keep Weiser in check, or at least his position, and try and find the angle for the ultimate Doom.
And here goes Curry. Big depth charge on FNB, but in the meantime, Karyoka does get taken out inside between worlds. Weiser's going wild here. He's waiting for the cooldowns. He flashes in, gets a kill, gets a reset on the World Ender, and the Darkened Blade gets more resets for the side of Pain as everybody scatters. Weiser splits the fight in half and allows Pain for a moment to breathe here. Do they want towers? Do they want the objective?
And Rabello misstepped once, and Weiser was already there to punish. I'm waiting for the replay because he wanted to get the kill. He wanted to end the fight as soon as it started, but the damage was just lacking. Look, they're looking for the engage. They know where Weiser is, and they're deciding, guys, we're gonna go all in. Just press all your ultimates, and that's gonna be it. Curry survives, and Rabello walks into the Darking Blade over there, pops the barrier. You can see the panic in his eyes. But he knows that he cannot survive any longer. FNB has to flash away, but Chitan getting the double kill with the Senna, you know that she's gonna start hurting people very, very hard.
Yeah, and it's going to be in a very, very short time frame. I think it's the same time frame that it takes Lucian to start falling off, but Weiser keeping the early game in check here for Pain means that he's going to be massive later on. Right now, no Grievous Wounds apart from Frosty's Ignite, and right now Rebello's Execution is calling. That's going to shift away from his build completely.
Yep. And not sure we really want to be doing that. I'm not sure if Weiser is such a threat for you, but he knows something
get Grievous Wounds.
Lucian? I know. Mundo?
Yeah, FNB's in trouble though. In Between Worlds does get across the wall, but Karyoka's already waiting for him. Roamer's the one that collects the kill, and Tier 2 is under threat here by Pain.
Really going for more. Does he want to... Oh, maybe Roamer's in trouble.
That's not great. Yep, he's left in no man's land. Roamer now getting slapped around by the Infected Cleaver. It's Rebello that collects the kill. Everybody from Red Canids stack on top side. Pain do get punished for it, and they get nothing out of that.
Yeah, you can't get that over Eager, honestly. You will get slapped. Red is no team to scoff at. Now Kazem, oh, that's a nice pocket of vision over there. Not loose, has a death chart. Good night, Sweet Prince.
Yeah, just, man, he flashed into the depth charge, causing not a lot of places to go for. He doesn't even deal damage at this point in time. It's just a matter of knocking him around until he's dead, and that's exactly what Pain did. In the meantime, Weiser takes a tower by himself, solo gold, for an already massive Aatrox.
Yeah, we know how terrifying an Aatrox can be if he gets ahead, if he gets to that 2-3 item spike early on. He gets unkillable. Let's see the play that started all. Curry getting the Herald Taxi, trying to fight FNB. That flash. Who flashed over there? I think I thought I saw.
No,
he
used
the.
Yeah,
it was
Between
Vi.
Worlds.
It was Vi.
Yeah.
It was Vi flashing.
You know what
Then
the nastiest
Roamer.
thing about that was?
Yeah.
Vi's Q on FNB on top of the Unraveled Earth absolutely stunned him and dealt extra damage from the Unraveled Earth.
Yeah.
Not from his own dash, but because he was forced to move by Carioca.
We might have another fight. Chitan is there. They're trying to corral them.
Oh, this is perfect for Weiser. Everything is aligning. World Ender is available, and there he goes. Will he be able to fight that one out? He's trying to channel the Vault Breaker.
Look at the sustain!
Weiser is healing. Weiser is healing. He does have the Sundered Sky, but he's a little bit too shy to try to go all in on red cannons.
Look at Roamer. He's trying to close. I mean, he has the ultimate.
In goes the Weaver's Wall. Doom and Frosty are left on the wrong side of the table. They flash both of them over the Weaver's Wall to safety.
Oh my god, he got 2 extra flashes over there. That was one of the weirdest fight I've seen today.
Oh, was that
the only one that moving? It was a skirmish. Well, there were some slaps. There were some water balloons being thrown. Now, I see pings on the Rifthold. Red are pinging the Rifthold. I'm not sure they have the damage right now.
Otacon is the one being pinged. Otacon is live. We're 20
Otacon.
minutes in. But the Herald could definitely be could be an option here to set up for Baron next up around. Korea's trying to keep the wards on top side, but they have a lot of work to go through because Red Cannons have rooted themselves in on that top half of the Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, but now the top half is what's most important. Drake still not up for the next 2 minutes. It is a Cloud Break. Very, very nice to have for, I want to say, everyone on the map. I'm looking at Aurora, I'm looking at Lucian, I'm looking Mundo and Vi and Natrox.
No, you definitely
managed
want
to secure that soul. Yeah, it's going to be game ending of your team. So much strength over there. But now they're playing for the Atacam. They know it's a very, very dangerous objective. They know, especially
Look at
Pain.
Pain's flowers. They have 17 of them. If they get it, you double the flower count, which will put them at 34. That's the hardest math I've done this week.
Your week sounds easy.
Not good.
Anyways, thing is, it's still a very hard objective, especially for the side of Pain, because Red has two marksmen. They have an Aurora. They have enough damage, right? They can kind of go in, sneak it, get out. The marksman that Pain has is Senna. She wants her time. She wants to sit there, auto Q. It's not that much damage. You just play slowly. You just heal your teammates. You just play with your range. And you see that Chetan can do damage, but he still needs that time. Neutral objective is not Senna's strongest point. I must know it. She carried me to master.
Oh my! I didn't know I was playing with this kind of. I was casting with this kind of. My bad. Apologies, but still, absolutely. Send a super online. 3 item spike here on the Black Cleaver as well means that Doom needs to be very careful on the front line. He is the front line that Red Cannons need, but then again, so is Frosty. But very, very vulnerable with the Black Cleaver being fielded here. Roamer as well trying to defend the perimeter of their side of the map right now as the dragon is spawning in. Both teams want to contest it, but Red are fine just baiting so they can switch and go for Otacon.
Yeah, I don't think that Pain needs to go through all the little sneaky angles. They just need to go through mid lane, right? Just control that big area where you can't really get corralled into a very, very narrow zone. You can get bullet timed in your face. Just play for that. Thing is, Red look way too happy to go onto the other side and double their 1 flower.
Oh man, this is a bait. This is very, very bait. I guess it's not about them getting the 1 extra flower. I would say it's more about them denying the extra flowers for Pain, which is a good run. Carioca, though, they have a lot of time to go in on that Otacon. Curry is trying to clear out waves, clear out vision. They go in. Curry has a depth charge available. Where is he going to use it? The Otacon is in kill range, and it's going to be Red Cannons to secure it. Weiser is got the World Ender nice and live. Frosty might be in trouble. That's the first reset on the World Ender. And oh boy, we have a field for Weiser to play in. The Weaver's Wall locks everyone on the other side. Weiser runs out of wings, but Pain still come out on top. That's a 2-kill for Nauticon.
2 kills might not be enough to cover it. The flash from Kaza was good to stay alive. And I expected a bit more from Pain, who only get those 2, maintain a 1k gold advantage. But now, those summoners are missing, and Red doesn't have enough time to reposition themselves for Baron. If Pain want to, they can kind of force Red to face check them into the Baron, and that's when the winning fight may occur.
Okay, so that was a bit of misstep there from us. They didn't double their flower count. They got 10 times their flower count.
Yeah, they're getting every petal.
Yeah, every flower in the
right
map,
now on the map. Yeah, so they're getting those. Nice might them from Doom. I thought that with Weiser actually flanking, they could get so much more. Frosty took so much time to die because of that pesky Leona W. And then you're focusing on the Doom, and Doom is not really the target you want to be dealing with. FNB has just enough time to teleport from the other side.
Weiser missed the
Kaze.
Q2. That's
Kaze flashing.
Same, buddy, same. No, so I felt like, I feel like Weiser was feeling a little bit shaky on the Aatrox, and he is looking a little bit scared when navigating these team fights. That Q was meant to go, or ideally it would have gone on Doom to get the extra balance, get the extra damage, but he tried to get a little bit greedy on Kaze. Find it. Now, Pain, they want to fight for this Baron Nashor, and they're going straight to it. Carioca forced to flash away. Doom in the front line, healing nice and fine because there's no Grievous wounds yet on Pain's side. So they're going to walk away from Red's jungle right now.
Yeah, but it's going to be very hard. Carioca knows that he can really reset. If he resets, the Baron as good as gone, especially if Red does realize it. He gets a cam, gets a little bit of healing up, can't really smite. Teleport comes in, and that's Leona.
Oh, that's a flash out from Doom as well. FNB turns on between worlds as Curry walks away from the field. Red cannons keep on spending cooldowns, keep on spending summoners. Try to get these fights off, and Pain barely touched on terms of cooldowns. They have all the ultimates up still.
Yep. No flash from Doom. That's a very important cooldown as well. Chitan knows that he can actually walk up a little bit. He only has to worry about the Leona. The rest of them kind of whatever. He can out heal. He can out damage. He has a lot of health from the Black Cleaver as well. He's just waiting for the IE so that his crates hurt more than any other crates. He should be on 100% very, very shortly. But Weiser,
why are they
in trouble?
Oh, that's a greedy bag, but it could work. As he walks in, Rebello is also in sight. Weiser goes into World Ender. He finds Rebello, doesn't try to go for the fight. Amazingly enough, he's going into the bush, trying to get some distance, getting division advantage. He's healing. He's got the Sundered Sky, but Weiser avoiding fights like the plague right now.
Yeah, the gets kill. He gives his team tier 1 in the mid lane, and that's a very, very important turret. Now the map can be opened up. We've been 27 minutes without a tier 1 being opened up. Now look, Chitan with all that range, he can push the vision line forward. If he can push the vision line forward, they can look for the pick. They don't really want to go for the extended fights. As you see, they want to get picks, they want to get flanks.
Yep.
Weiser is dead for 20 more seconds, so there's no flanks, and the Baron has been started up.
Baron has been started by the Red Cannons, but ultimately the stalling of the game actually benefits Pain. Let's see if they can do anything about the Baron. They're being debuffed. Red Cannons, they're losing a lot of resistances the longer they stay inside the pit. In comes the depth charge. Knock up on Frosty. They're getting tossed around. Frosty really, really low. They're losing their front line. Doom pops up his ultimate, trying to get himself safe. Flash over the wall from Titan. Gets a kill. That's 2 down. FNB and Kazi are sleeping in the bushes. Romer comes in from behind. Incredible flank to take down Frosty. And Pain wiped the floor with the bodies of Red Cannons.
On both sides of the court, Pain dunked on Red. Both Romeo and Karaoke getting FNB out, or Rabella, whoever what that was. But oh my goodness, Curry and Chitan fought the fight of their lives. So much patience, so much decisiveness. They get the kill, they get the time, they get the Baron Nashor.
Yep, and it all makes sense. All of this time, them avoiding fights, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the moment to pull the trigger. They find it exactly when they need to.
Look, Curry gets down over here. Oh, the topside FNB gets smacked. But now it's a 2v4 here. Instantly flashed in. Kaze eradicated. And they're playing slowly. They know that they can't get out scot-free. But they know that if they play it slowly, the rest of the team comes in. They get one more kill. And Chetan, he told it in the previous game. He is here. He has arrived.
He has, and let's see if they will be, or if they'll be able to continue this tempo, because Red Cannons, they're looking grim right now. Not a lot of options moving into the later stages of the game. Kaze is going to be, he's got the Black Cleaver. What is he going to be doing?
I mean, his best. I guess he's going to be doing his best. He's trying to go through Wiser. He's trying to go through Kure, go through Karaoke. All those champions have so much in base armor from all those levels. Also, the extra Mountain Drake helps them a lot. But I understand your point. It feels so awkward. It feels so bad for him.
Yeah.
No Infinity Edge.
Nope.
No Last Whisper. Trying
Black
to survive
Cleaver
on the front
means that
line.
he has to be in the front line, and if he's in the front line, he's either going to get knocked up by Wise or punched in the face by Karioka, and neither of those seem like good prospects for Lucian.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be in either position. Now, Pain pressing on the bot lane. They see Doom, they see FNB, they see Frost. What's going to be the course of action? That is a very long range for Titan at this point. He's on 95.
Yeah, and a lot of damage as well. Honestly, that's the front lane. Look, 3 auto attack, 1/3 of his HP, or at least 1/4 of his HP done.
And Black Cleaver stacking as well.
It's also double stacking, by the way.
It is?
You know, it's Senna double stacks a Cleaver because her auto attack.
That's the Black Cleaver getting stacked,
Oh.
tossed around with the Unraveled Earth and Shaky Grounds here as well. Pain Gaming completely controlling the bottom half of the Summoner's Rift, and it feels desperate by Red Cannons. It doesn't feel like they have a lot of places to go. Karioka goes over the wall, and everybody gets cut off by the Weaver's Wall. Kaze, Doom, Rebello, and FNB trying their best to defend the inhibitors, but the Baron enhanced minions are just pushing through, and Red Cannons don't have enough wave clear to deal with this right now.
Okay, he's on vision. They try to get away Mundo's passive, and if they do, they just turn on him immediately. They can deal with him. There's the Grievous Wounds, an Oblivion Orb sits tightly in Roamer's inventory, and every time that anyone hits a crowd control, they all follow up.
Yep, Wiser in the front line now. World Ender is available, but they're looking for the fight. Doom in the front line looking to push in on Wiser. World Ender is activated. Look at him healing. He's 1v3ing right now in that backline. He's maining alive. One down means a reset on the World Ender comes through. Frosty might be in trouble. No flash available on the Leona. Killing spree for Romer. And Wiser keeps on spreading his wings onto the backline. Red Cannons in trouble. Wiser still alive. The ace comes through. It's clean. And that should be game for Pain.
Oh, Chitan already stood up. Curry as well. Look, his champion doesn't move. He is more Brazilian than Korean anymore. And Pain are not the easy victim you thought them to be. They are your parents today.
And it is so poetic. Red Cannons choosing this matchup because it felt easy on the best of 3. This just means that Pain got a 3-1 and qualified for the American phases? Pazamerican? What does that mean, Rev?
I mean, they qualified to fly to Texas.
Ooh.
And they will be playing with the LTA North as well, it seems so. One of them they will play VKS, if I'm not mistaken, next week. Either them or Vivor K-Stars will go to the finals. It doesn't matter. If I'm not mistaken, top 3 teams will go to the finals phase, and they are at least top 3 for LTA South Split 3.
And what a poetic run here for Pain. They looked grim on the regular stage. They got beat up, tossed around. All of their series felt off. It felt like they had something missing from them. And whatever that was, they just found it against Red Cannons. They thrived on the BM. They loved feeding off the energy from the crowd as well. And it is such good to see Pain looking this great back on the Summoner's Rift.
It's so electric, man. I wish I was
Mhm.
there in the crowd. It must feel amazing every time you make a play. Everyone stands up, starts screaming. You do get a little bit more BM. And it does remind us it's more than a video game, it's a sport. It has all of the mental aspects of a sport, all of the BMing, all of the fun interaction. It's what drives us.
It is. It is what drives us, and what a series this was to wrap up the next qualified team. Now, this also means we have determined who is going to face off on the lower brackets as well, I believe. No, we still have Loud versus Fluxo, Leviathan versus Zurus, and from there, we see who's going to face off against Pain, or not Pain, but Red Cannons and Furia. Because they're not done yet. Not yet.
Yeah, we still have quite a ways to go, honestly. And then even when the LTA South is kind of over, we do get the LTA as a whole, so it's going to be banger as well. I do know that all of the LTA North fans are sitting very very proudly with the swag on in their comfy chairs. But I have to remind, but that in a best of one at least, there has been instances of an LTA South team winning a very strong contender of the LTA North. So, you never know, guys. You never know. I'm just saying.
Just recently, Furia sent a couple of people home really, really early. But hey, it's the problem with these teams. You never know what's going to happen. Are we going to have
Yeah.
LCKC below or CBCK? What was the name of the thing? CBLCK? Something of the sort. Slower games. We have these teams can play slower games, and they can amp the tempo up the tempo really, really hard, and completely turn your face around. Now, will this mean that Furia, or in this case Pain, do that again and Vivoed going into the Americas? Maybe. Nobody really expects much of them.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Like, me personally, I don't know what to expect from the VKS, Vivo Kid Stars. I used to be a fan, then I got heartbroken so many times. Do you know that there's been the rumor that they've been slapping everyone in screams with no answer?
I
And
did not know that. No.
yeah, and yet they are so shaken states, and then they come and slap Furia 3-0. So
You never know. But
absolute cinema. That's all I'm gonna say. Absolute cinema.
that is true, but that is also all that they wrote for tonight. That is a 3-1 dominating victory of Pain over Red Cannons, and I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't yet, hey, drop a follow on the channel. Give us a little
It's
sub.
free.
It helps pay the bills here. Rev has to eat. I have to eat sometimes as well.
My cats as well.
He's got 4 of them apparently. But yeah, help us out. We bring it. We try to bring you the best content available. But that being said, we do appreciate you guys staying and keeping us company up until this point. From myself, from Rev, and from Dia behind the camera, we appreciate your preference here throughout this afternoon. We wish you all incredible games. Have a great afternoon, an amazing weekend, and we'll see you on the next time. Peace out.